Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to my channel. Good folks of the algorithm. How are you doing? I hope that your weekend has gone the way that you wanted it to happen. I hope everybody had fun, everybody was safe, everything is going well. I know I was supposed to come back yesterday, but I was so tired, guys. Right now I'm doing a whole detox and cleanse, so I'm not able to eat the same type of food that I'm used to. So when that happens, when I do my detox and cleanse, I start to lose a lot of energy. So I had to literally chill out. So even today, still going to the gym with my detox and my cleansing and my juicing. My energy levels is a whole lot better than it was yesterday, but I'm still a little under the weather. But I want to say shout out to Mary for being the early bird that gets the word. How you doing, sis? Thank you so much for stopping by. And Bruce, how are you, sir? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in, stopping by. Hey, Miss Jalen, how you doing? Happy Sunday to you, sis. I truly appreciate you. All right. So I have 3 cases for you guys today. Just make sure you're hitting the like button when you come in, or you can hit the like button, the dislike button if you want to. Please share out the cases if you're interested in it, or if you have someone in your family, friends, or whoever that might be interested in these type of cases. I truly appreciate it. Miss Jayla said, "Time to sleep." I hear you. And the weather's been weird. Like yesterday it was rainy and cold, and today is semi-cold. I'm looking forward to the weather to get back to staying at least 75 degrees. I could deal with 75 degrees. That's life, right? 75 degrees is life. So let's see. Hey Nemesis, what's going on with you? So, shout out to you. Hey, Chuck Woo, listen, I've been paying attention what's going on over there, bro. We're going to talk about it. All right. So I have 3 cases, and I think that these cases are going to be very interesting, and you guys are going to like them. One case is the one that I was supposed to finish the last live stream that I did, but I didn't have enough time. Luckily, I will have enough time today. So this one has to do with a teen. I think this teen is a killer. He probably had unalived someone, but he really did believe that he thought that he was going home. So I think it was some things about his interrogation that was a little alarming, and I want us to review this because we do know that a lot of teens lately are being diagnosed with antisocial issues that are literally spiraling out of control. There also have been stats to say that a lot of kids are being diagnosed or misdiagnosed with ADHD, or being put on medicines that's not necessarily what they're actually going through. And this is causing a chain of effect of them acting out in certain behaviors. But nonetheless, we're going to watch this, and I hope that you enjoy it. So let me pull up this for you guys so we can get into it. I hope y'all can see it, and here we go.
16-year-old Dylan Murray called 911, claiming he had just assaulted his friend with a bat.
I saw him walking, and he brought me to the woods, and he took my baseball bat and tried to beat me. He tried to attack me, and then me and him got into a fight where I had the baseball bat, and I don't know if he's dead, because I hit him so many times, man. Dad! Dad, help! Dad, help! Dad, help! He was trying to kill me! I think Gio tried to kill me, and I think I killed him. I'm not playing, Dad. He texted me in the morning. They're saying I'm going to go to jail if he dies.
Dylan was arrested and put into an interrogation room, while his victim, 15-year-old Giovanni Diaz, was rushed to the hospital.
Should I just tell you the whole story from the beginning? Because it's going to be hard to explain from the beginning.
By all means, start from the beginning.
Last Wednesday, I was at my friend Zach's house.
What happened last Wednesday? You went to Zach's house?
Everything went normal, but when I was leaving, I quit. I had stopped hanging out for Gio for a long time. And then I saw Gio, and Gio was like, hey, Monday, for sure, make sure when you get done with your studies, text me. And we're gonna burn. So I had marijuana on me, obviously. And at the time I didn't know, I thought he just didn't want to smoke with Zach, but he was like, it's just gonna be me and you, and it's just gonna be me and you. But today, it's Monday. So I texted him when I woke up, I said, hey, I'm done with my studies. I'll be at the Rocks if you want to chill after school, just me and you, like you said. And then he was like, all right. And then right when he got off school, I was walking around the neighborhood, texting him, hey, where you at? He was just looking at my text messages. And I didn't think nothing of it. I thought maybe he just didn't have any Wi-Fi until I walked down the street and he saw me. And then we went into the woods. And then before we went into the woods, he was like, hey, you want to play baseball after we get high? And I was like, yeah, let's play baseball. You want to go get Zach afterwards? And he was like, hell yeah, bro. So I went back home. I grabbed my football, not my football, my baseball bat. And I go back in the woods. I have a seat. And I start to roll the blunt. And then he's like, I got to use the bathroom. And he went behind the tree. And he was like, don't look, because my dick is out. I'm not gay. I'm not going to look anyways. But all of a sudden, he was like, ah. And I heard like he was moving because it's the woods. And right when he said that, he turned around, he was above me with the baseball bat. I didn't even think, bro. I just put my arm up and he did like a little thing like that and tried to hit me, and I put my hand up, and the only place he hit me with the baseball bat was right here, and it wasn't even that hard. And when I grabbed the baseball bat like this, I disarmed him, and he had these blue gloves on, and he was like, I took the baseball bat from him, he threw his gloves down, and then he hit me, and he was like, now you're gonna fucking get it. And then when he punched me, that's when I got mad, and the baseball bat started. And I didn't stop until I saw blood everywhere. The last thing I remember was like just looking at him. There was blood everywhere, and I was like, why didn't I just put him in a headlock or something? Why did I hit him with the baseball bat? And then once I got real queasy, and I just ran out the woods and threw up, screaming for help. And that was it. I just screamed for help.
What Dylan doesn't know is that Giovanni died on the way to the hospital. The detective will keep this to himself for now, but soon he will let Dylan know he is a murderer.
How long have you known Giovanni?
A long time, like 3 years.
Do you know his last name?
Diaz.
Did you guys meet in school or just?
I want to point out that this young man, while he's telling his story, when he was telling the story, he wasn't looking in the director's face. The detective's face. He was looking down. He was looking down at the table. So he was pretty much getting everything together in a way that seems sensible, right? My thing is that if this is your friend, right, and I'm going to, like I said, I'm keeping an open mind. There's a lot of people who have people around them that you think are friends, and they're really not that. They're really not that, right? We have seen so many different other cases about girl trips going wrong, boys trips going wrong, but lately it's been girls trips going wrong, where these women been friends and cool with each other since high school or for 5 years, 10 years, and so. And now all of a sudden where they're going on a girls trip or they went on a cruise or something like that, the worst things be happening. The worst things happen, you know? What? Why y'all saying stuff like that? Anybody can say things in here as long as you keep it cute, respectful. That's the rule. No, I don't understand. Like, this is the weirdest thing. Just like Ruth says, this is the rule. Exactly. That is the rule. So if you can't abide by that, then, thank you for trying to view, but you can go see yourself somewhere. All right. That's all I have about it. All right. But I do want to say that, we have seen a lot of cases lately where people, they really thought that they was these people's friends and they have been with each other for years. and they're being unaliving their so-called claim friends, best friends, and all the stuff like that. This is what we're seeing. So it's not really that surprising to even see this now happening with the youth. You know, people are just gravitating with each other. They're being associates, and they're thinking that you're in a friendship, but it's actually really not a friendship. It's an association built on whatever the situation is, whether if you have to go to school with each other, you live in the same neighborhood, your family go to the same church, things of that sort. It's like other situations that is actually bringing people together in communion. And even though you have that commonality, you're not really actually really friends or really agreeable with each other, right? Y'all don't have that type of friendship. And we're seeing that more lately now, that's starting to play out. How a lot of fake friendship, fake you're my family, or I look at you like family, is a lot of it is just fake. A lot of it is fake lately. Yeah, see, Bruce said I am Gen X, and when I was in school, it was completely, yeah, I know, right? Because when I was in school, it was different too. But I've seen the last couple of years, it's quite different. Like they like everybody just call everybody a friend. People say I love you, and they be like I love you, and it's literally like a common term being used, that to just say, oh, I'm messing with you, I'm cool with you right now. They don't really necessarily actually love you, right? So that's what's been happening lately. But let's hear what else he has to say. The detective said that they're going to withhold telling him that his friend did not survive his injuries, but I guess he wants to make sure that everything that this young man is saying is the truth, and before giving him another another out to say that, well, technically I really just did this for self-defense. So let's go on.
From the neighborhood?
School, neighborhood, we were friends. There was the only time we got in battle was like 2 years ago when we got into a fight, but we've been good since then.
What happened during that fight 2 years ago?
Gio was just like making fun of me, and he walked up to me and pushed me, and then we got into a fight.
Where was this at?
At the bus stop. And I didn't think nothing of it. He's not the only one that asks me to come in the woods and smoke weed with him. He's not the only one. Everybody else does. I didn't think nothing of it. But when he punched me in the face, I just lost it, man. And I feel really bad. I don't know if is he okay or... Well, I mean, I know he attacked me, bro, but I could have, like, just put him in a headlock, but I beat him.
I'm sorry, just backing up a little bit. You said when you woke up today, that's when you texted him?
No, after about 2 hours before my studies, I was like, hey, I'm about to be done with my studies. Do you want to chill out?
Do you remember what time that was, roughly?
At this point, but I didn't delete. I told my dad I'm not going to delete my text off my phone. You can, whenever y'all have my phone, you can read. Where I was like, hey, do you want to chill? Just me and you.
Does your phone have a password on it, right?
No, you can just swipe.
Okay.
I've got nothing to hide. I just feel really guilty because I could have did. When I left at the woods, he looked like he was hurt really bad. Mm-hmm. And I know I could have did something else not to hurt him that bad. I couldn't stop.
What Dylan doesn't know is that Giovanni died on scene from blunt force trauma to the head. The detective will keep this to himself for now, but soon he will let Dylan know he is a murderer.
Giovanni asked you if you wanted to play baseball afterwards, right?
After we smoked.
Yeah. And so that's when you went back to your house to get the bat?
Yeah, I went back to my house and I got the bat, and I showed it them to the bat, and he was like, oh yeah, bro, it's a nice bat because it was all metal. It's not one of those wood ones.
Where did how long, is it your bat or is it your dad's bat, family members?
It's just a bat that was laying around that I had never seen before, and when he was like, hey, do you want to play baseball? I was like, oh, that's cool, there's a bat at my house.
And where did you first see this bat?
In the shed, like 2 months ago, but then it went missing, and now it was under the couch. He went to hit me. I put this arm up just like this to block, went like that, grabbed his arm, and he punched me in the face, and when he punched me in the face, he backed up. I had the bat in my hand. He looked at me, and he just went like this, with the gloves. You're about to fucking get it. And then that's when he stuck me, and then the rest is just like, you already know.
Okay. How many times did he hit you?
He hit me twice. Once with the bat, and then once with his fist.
Was it like a closed fist, open?
A closed fist. He hit me right here.
Where? So the right side of your face, like in the cheek area?
Despite claiming he had just been hit with a metal bat and a
Okay, so off the bat, obviously he's not really telling the truth. There is no bruising on him. He has no bruising on his face, and he doesn't even have any bruising from a metal bat. This is not a wooden bat. This is a metal bat. So they're looking into that, and this is what the young man don't know. I'm kind of upset that his parents are not with him, right? And there's not a lawyer, I don't know. I'm against young adults and children having these interrogation without a adult there. I really am against it. So yeah, that's really what I have to say about that. I'm against that. Even if the suspect could be guilty or not guilty, I'm just upset about children or young adults going through this interrogation process by themselves, or not having some type of adult with them or adult supervision with them, whether if the lawyer want to be there or if it's their parent, and the lawyer. I think that should be the standard, right? We cannot say that when it comes down to psychology, we cannot say that human beings don't fully develop until the age of 25 years old, but think that children are fully competent to have these type of interrogations at the age of 15, 16, 17. And then he also already said that he was under the influence. Now, they said they were smoking weed. We know today that youth add other things into their weed. There is not just only weed anymore, right? They add K2, they add lace, lace things like that. They add so many other things. They soak the wrapping paper in certain things, mushroom. They're doing a lot of stuff out here, a lot of stuff, even more than probably what I can even list to you guys. So it's just I'm just really concerned about that. I really am. Let's see. Lee says, "Oh, how you doing, Lee?" He said, "Bro was up against Wolverine." No, he actually did this. He did this to his supposedly best friend. That's the sad part. They were supposed to go play baseball. They went into the woods to go smoke some trees. And this is only off of what this young man was saying. He said they went into the woods to go smoke some weed. The boy went to go use the bathroom, and then all of a sudden he just turned around and just started hitting him. And he said that the boy striked him with the bat first, and then I guess he went into a fit of rage and he just started wailing on the boy with his own bat. But he didn't think that he hurt him that bad, or he didn't really want to hurt him that bad. That's what is going on. So let's see. Should have asked for the lawyer. Most kids know that. Yeah. Hey, Flower, how are you this Sunday? I hope everything is well with you, dear. Hope everything is well. See, is he under arrest, detective? No, he is not under arrest. As of right now, he is detained. Okay? He is not under arrest. But they do have tissue there for him, so I guess that's just in case if he starts crying and stuff like that, But like I said, I don't like that the kids is being spoken to, and I don't see a parent with him. That just really, I don't know, it bothers me. Oh, don't worry about it, Mary. Don't worry about it. Hi, girl, dad. How are you this Sunday? Hope everything's well. Thank you for stopping by. Truly appreciate you. All right, so let's go on.
a closed fist. Dylan didn't have any marks on his face or forearm.
Did he fall to the ground?
No, I hit him 6 times. Well, in the chest, and then in the head. Cause I just got so mad, bro.
Mm-hmm. Now, was he saying anything at this point?
No, when he said you're f***ing done, and I hit him in the head, he was dazed. He looked like one of the boxers, out of breath. And then when I hit him, I just got so mad, and I just kept. And then like he hit the ground, and I gave him like one more big one, and I was like, and then all of a sudden it just came flooding at me, like, what the f did I just do? Went and put on the gloves so fast and grabbed the bat so fast, it was like I had opened the blunt, and as I was going like this, I heard the noise. And then right when I went like that, I don't know what to do. Like right now, I don't know, bro. I don't feel good. I feel like throwing up. I feel like I'm drunk, bro.
If you need hey, just if you need to puke, hey, use the trash can. I understand it's a crazy situation. A lot of stuff's going on. I mean, it's stressful. I understand that. All right.
The police found long blue latex gloves at the crime scene, along with a bloody bat. Dylan claims that the gloves belonged to Giovanni, and he put them on right before attacking him with the bat. What the police don't know, but will soon find out, is that Dylan has an obsession with violence, and he's always wanted to know what it would feel like to kill someone.
Now, when you were going after him, did you have the urge like you wanted to kill him, or just what? I mean,
I wanted to kill him.
You did?
Because I thought he was going to kill me.
And this is why I say, where was his parents? Right? So it goes back to what I was talking about, like finding out that a lot of these kids are now suffering with antisocial disorders. And obviously they're going to do an investigation, they're going to check. So they probably saw things on his computer, they probably saw things on his social media accounts, him talking about gore or talking about liking things like that. And then now this situation happened. My whole thing is like, it's very strange that if y'all was going to go play baseball, why do you have latex gloves? Why don't you have baseball gloves, right? You came and you're going to go play baseball with blue latex gloves. That's weird, right? Because most kids that I know, if they don't have like baseball gloves, because let's say that's not their actual sport, but they know how to play it because they always played it when they were younger, they're hitting with with no gloves on, and they're hitting the bat and stuff like that, right? So even that right there, that's pretty alarming, right? That's pretty alarming. And just for the hear that he even said that he wanted to kill him, right? And then he tried to clean it up a little bit and said, because I thought that he was going to kill me. But the simple fact is that if he punched you, and I get it, if he punched you, hey, punch him back, whatever not. And if he did hit hit you with the bat, which we don't see no signs that you actually got hit with the bat, you hit him with the bat already. You already explained to the detective that you, quote unquote, went through a fit of rage and you were so mad, and you hit this young boy more than 8 times. You cracked him over his head. You already admitted that he was already like woozy and out of it, right? And then you started hitting him and on his chest and on his body. So they're going to look at this as, like you just said earlier, you intended to kill him. But it cannot be, like I said, and I stated in so many other cases, it's not going to be looked at as self-defense anymore because it was overkill. You had a chance to hit him in his head. The boy fell, and you're literally beating him with your bat while he's on the floor. You're not in danger at this point anymore. You're not. This is so sad because these are children, and I can't stand when I hear children behaving in this way. You know what I'm saying? And conducting themselves in this way. And I know, I get it. Not all kids are innocent. I get it. I totally understand. But it's just like it's a child. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's kind of scary when you now know that children can have very warped mindsets equivalent to grown adults. It's scary. It's very, very scary. Let's see. A couple people came in. Let's see. Sam says, hi, Sam. He says, that's why the early 2000s was the golden years away from the filth nowadays. I did enjoy the 2000s too. Shout out to the 2000s and the 90s. I enjoyed them. They were a lot of fun. Hey, young Riaz, good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming in. Bruce said, I never used gloves to play baseball, but I grew up poor. That's yard mowing money. And that went to model cars, gas, and high wheels. I agree. Yeah. And like I said, even when I was growing up, when we used to play softball and baseball in front of where we lived, right? We never had gloves. And the only one who had baseball gloves was the one who actually played in like the and the little leagues. You know, the ones who was actually a part of a little league team will have baseball gloves. But if it was just regular us that was in the community playing baseball, manhunt, and stuff like that, we wasn't or football. We wasn't holding gloves. Like gloves, what? Come on. Let's see. Mary said, hopefully my daughter will never have to use the info I told her about the police, but she knows to call my parents and call my lawyer, then say nothing. And we tried to trick her into saying, yes, I agree. That's good. I know. Like, and I hope that that never ever comes to that point either. I hope it doesn't. I think he's underage. He's under the age of 18, Flower. He is under the age of 18. I don't know exactly, but it looks like he's junior, senior. Hi, Ramolin. How you doing? Yeah. Oh, look, Flower said, I miss the 70s. I hear you. I hear you. I don't know about those times, but you know, my mom told me about those times and she's missed the 70s too. So right. Hey, 907. It's good to see you, sis. Thank you for stopping by. Truly appreciate you. Truly appreciate you. All right, let's go on.
Does Giovanni have a girlfriend or anything?
I don't know.
Okay, so it's not like, you know, you may start talking to his girl and he got all pissed off or
The
anything.
only thing I can think about is him being mad at me is what I just told you when he tried to show me some like new thing when he got off the bus.
That Rubik's Cube thing?
Yeah, and I just blew him off. That's the last thing I did bad to Gio.
And that was about 2 weeks ago, you said?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
The detective is about to make a mistake and let Dylan know that Giovanni is dead.
Do you know what you did? Where you dropped with the bat?
I was when I looked at him, I went like this through the bat, and I think the bat maybe like landed at an angle sideways at him.
So near his body?
Yeah, near. What? His body? He's dead?
Yes, sir, he is. Yes. I'm sorry to have to tell you that, but yes, Giovanni did pass. I understand that, and I understand this is very, very tough and stressful.
My friend.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm sorry I have to tell you that.
For real? Yes, you're not playing.
I see
I'm not
Amanda. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for the
I'm
lovely
gonna go live with us. I killed somebody. Oh my. I killed somebody.
There's some toilet paper there next to you if you need to, dry your eyes, blow your nose. I know this is very tough on you. All right, it's not easy to have to talk about this.
I was just so mad. I didn't mean to play for real. I don't care if you tried to kill me first. I don't want to kill nobody. How am I supposed to live with myself after this?
Well, I can't tell you what you need to do or what the right thing to do is, but there are people that you can talk to and, counselors and grief counselors to talk about. Talking is the best thing you can do. Well, I can tell you this right now. All right, your parents know that Giovanni's dead, and they are still your parents. At the end of the day, your dad was telling me, you're his son. He still loves you. It's hard to think that this was something that you had planned out for weeks and wanted to try and go do.
What the detective doesn't know is that Dylan has been watching shows like Dexter, and his Facebook page was covered in violent images. Dylan would tell his friends that he wanted to know what it was like to kill someone, but they would shrug it off and tell Dylan to stop watching so much TV.
Just raged on you.
I gotcha.
I hate
Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you that this is why it's you have to be mindful. I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't like certain things. And there was one point of time, and even still now, people are into gore, right? When it comes down to movies and stuff like that, especially the old school cult classic gore, they really do studies on that, right? So people who wanted to become movie directors in the future, they take from the past and they know how to switch it around so they can make something innovative and unique and new, off of the things that they have learned, right? So you don't want to shame people for things that they're interested. You have people who are interested in rom-com, people who are interested in thrillers, and then you have people who are interested in gore, right? It is what it is, but you have to be mindful of what you are looking at, the things that you're saying online, right? A lot of the stuff is not a joke. And it's not a joke, especially when a situation like this happens and they start to link it back to your character and your personality. So you might think that you're joking around by saying something that is out of bounds and not accepted from with the social norm, and it's just a joke, it's just to trigger someone that everybody would get over it. But if something happens and you start acting on the things that you say, right? This is when dream world becomes reality, right? Then this is what's going to happen. They're going to go back and they're going to look at everything that you have done. They're going to look at your messages on your social media platforms, right? They're going to look at your text messages. They're going to look at all of this stuff, right? So you got to just be careful. And this is also something that us parents, I know we don't want to, especially when we're dealing with teenagers, we want to trust them. We have to learn how to have a balance where we trust our children, that we instilled in them that they wouldn't be interested in certain things like that, and also still keeping somewhat of an eye and a watch to make sure that, hey, you're not doing something like that. It's a balance that we're always fighting as parents, right? Because you want to ease trust and responsibility and all that into our children. We don't want to give it to them too quickly, right? But then we don't also want to shelter our children too, so they don't know how to handle things. So it's like a fight and balance with this today world that we living in, to try to keep on having this, so we can prepare our kids for the new things that's coming every single way. You know what I'm saying? They're being loaded and loaded with so much information, whether if it's horrible information, good information, bad information. They're just being compounded on their little small psyches about what they're going to be into, what they're not going to be into, and stuff like that. And we do the best we can. We do the best we can. This is sad. It really, really is sad. Because like I said, I don't know. He's interested in death. He has said that to his other friends before. He said that he wanted to feel or know how it feels to take a life before, and whether or not, if that was a joke or not, the detectives can't chance it, because guess what? A young man is gone. A young man is gone. This was supposed to be your best friend. So that's like the thing too. Like, this is supposed to be your best friend. Y'all been hanging with each other for years. Y'all went to go smoke with each other. Y'all was supposed to go play baseball with each other. So even in that process, if you know, why would y'all even want to kill each other or be at the point where y'all would have to kill each other? Like those things are kind of like running in my mind, because even when he explained the conversation about how the situation even started, it just seems so weird for y'all to go to the woods, y'all smoking, y'all smoking a blunt, and y'all about to go play baseball. Your friend Giovanni went to go pee around the bushes, and he tells you not to look at him, but you just so happen roll up behind him when he told you not to go over there and look at him while he takes a piss, and then he turns around and he hits you, and then now you're saying that he hit you with the bat as well, but we don't see no bruises, we don't see no mark of you getting hit or anything, but he's been beaten to a pulp by you. And that was your bat. And you also came with latex gloves, blue latex gloves. So when you start adding everything together, it's not looking good. It's really not looking good. And all the crying and saying, "Oh, that was my friend," and I didn't, that's not really going to cut it. It's not really going to cut it, because even after you did it, and if you thought that he was going to kill you and it was self-defense, afterwards, when you said that you saw him on the ground and he looked pretty bad, they said that Giovanni was dead on sight before they even EMS and anybody got there, right? And then you left off and you called your father. You didn't try to help your best friend. You didn't try to, give him CPR or anything. You walked off and you called your dad and you were scared and you said, "Oh my God, he tried to kill me. He tried to kill me." So it's just like a lot of steps that you did. It didn't really seem like you really cared about your best friend, and that you had to hurt him this bad because he was trying to hurt you. So all that is going to play into it. Let's see. Sarah. Hi, Sarah. He said he's impressionable and not thinking rationally. I never watched stuff like that as a kid. I do now that I'm adult, but I know the difference. No, I understand. I totally agree. Let's see. Flower said I was mean. Wouldn't even let them watch Simpsons. I get it, Flower. She said, doesn't make him any less guilty, mind you. I agree. I agree with you, definitely. It's sad, really. It's really sad. I hate when this starts to happen with children, I really do. It bothers me. I don't have kids, but I have watched those shows. And if I had a son and daughter, that's a big no. No, I agree. Listen, man, I kept my son off of YouTube so much, man. Like, and even now, like, I have to still double watch him because he goes onto YouTube. He's a little older now, but I still have to monitor what he's going to watch. So I set it up on my phone that he's only allowed to have access to certain channels for his age, right? But even in that, that's not even safe anymore, right? Because we've seen that, well, now we have adults who are pretending to be that particular age and going into those age group places to interact with those children and pretending to be their age. It's scary out here, guys. You have to just keep on being careful. You have to really just keep on being careful and watching your kids as much as possible. But let's go on.
Every time I fight, something bad happens, but I've never killed nobody before. How am I supposed to live in that neighborhood knowing that I killed their parent's son?
Well, that's something I can't answer that, unfortunately. I can't tell you, what the next step you need to do is. Like I said, I would recommend talking with someone, a grief counselor, and just talking it out, because you let that stuff build up inside, it's gonna tear you down.
Oh, try to refresh, Flower.
I don't know what to do, man. I've never killed somebody before. I'm not even a grown-up.
Have you ever gone and killed anything else, like animals or anything before?
The only thing that I used to kill were lizards, and that was because my grandpa used to give me 50 cents each.
Kind of like a pest management kind of thing, kind of just before the lizard population gets too big, your grandpa would help you get that.
Yeah, but that's it.
No, like dogs, cats, squirrels, any animals like that?
I used to kill cats.
About how long ago was that?
When I was like 11, and back,
So that's a bad sign right there. That's not going to help him. And there's a reason why he's asking him that. And they normally say that children who has a kink about killing animals or small pets and stuff like that, they tend to leak that to psychopath behavior, serial killer behavior. So that's not good. This is why I said that he should have had his parents there, and he should have had a lawyer there, right? To even help explain, certain things. And this is not to say for him to get away with the things that he did. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's about it truly being fair and him getting, the proper time and everything, within the courts, right? Because we do know that they want all the information that they can possibly sum up to see whether or not, if they need, if a charge, whatever the charge is going to be, drawn about. They're not there to help him, right? They're not there to help him. So even if he was to say something and he meant it in the most innocent way possible, it could still be something that can be used against him to, for him to get get a charge, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I wish that a parent was here. I really do wish that a parent was here. Should you said, will he be charged as adult or juvenile? That I'm not sure. It depends on what his age is right now, and if they can convince that he really intended to do this, meaning this is first degree murder instead of a manslaughter, then it will depend on how he's going to be charged. Sarah Lane says, "An adult, I hope it was planned out, wasn't it?" Man, listen. Let's see. Did he say yes? He said he killed the cat. Yep. Hi, Sophia. How you doing? She said, "Oh, buddy, this kid is just like Dom." Yeah, she said something's not right in your head if you could do something like that. This is, in my opinion. No, yeah, it's something wrong. This is truly something wrong, and it's like a power dynamic. Like, they tend to only do that to smaller pets. You know what I'm saying? Because they know that the pets is vulnerable. They know that they're the bigger species against the pet, and they like to do the dissecting and all the stuff like that. Just like even when they used to say back in the day when people used to tie firecrackers and stuff on the tail of a cat and see that the cat is running around, in fear. Like, you can sense the fear in the cat, like how they know that they're dealing with their mortality, like their life is about to end, and you see them in distress going crazy, and then the cat blow up with the firecracker or whatever not on his tail. That was signs that something's not right here. If you like to do that, if you find joy in seeing that happen, that's a big problem. Big problem. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Oh, hold on. Okay, there we go. It says his capacity for sympathy and guilt is malfunctioning. Yeah, and he noticed that he has his arms crossed. So it's starting to get into more of him not being forthcoming anymore. Now he knows that his friend is not alive. He also admitted that he had killed animals before, or thought about killing animals before. So this is about to get very interesting. I still like nonetheless. I mean, hey, this kid got some issues, but I still believe that he should have had his parents there with him. Let's go on.
For a very, very short time when I was getting bullied, but that was like almost 5 years ago.
Okay, so about
It was
11.
mainly I only did that stuff when I was getting bullied or like I had something really stressed. I haven't did any of that stuff in like a long time.
So when bullied or stressed?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know about how many you killed?
Only two. I don't have the stomach, man.
Mm-hmm. Do you know whose cats they were?
I don't know.
Were they strays or like?
Probably just strays. I don't know. It was so long ago, and it wasn't even like I was getting satisfaction out of it. I would just be mad, and like I would see a cat, and I would kick it really hard, and it would just stop moving.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I feel like shit. I don't even like want to go home. I don't want to face my family. I killed somebody. I mean, if anybody should be mad, it should be me because he effed the girl I like, but that was so long ago. The only thing I can think about getting mad is if he did Rubik's Cube.
So this poor young man just gave all the 3 requirements that is needed for him to be charged and convicted. He just gave intent. You and your best friend was not cool 2 weeks ago, and then y'all ended up talking back with each other. You just admitted that he liked the girl that you liked, right? So there goes the intent. We all have the means. What he was able to kill Giovanni, he used his bat that he said disappeared a month ago, but miraculously, the day that you were supposed to go play baseball with Giovanni, you find the bat. And we all know what the opportunity was. He took him out to the woods. Apparently, it was supposed to just go smoke blunts and then go play baseball, but sitting out there smoking a blunt, Giovanni went to go take a piss, turned into him losing his life. He really literally just told everything on himself. Wow. And the funny thing about it is he still has his arms, he has his arms folded because he still thinks that he didn't give enough information to the detective. So he's showing the detective that he's lying about certain things, but the things that he's telling, he's not smart enough because he's a young man. He's not smart enough to know that you gave the detective all that information and what you actually said to the detective. But he, in his mind, he believes that he's being cunning enough that he's covering himself. And this is why we still see the body positioning of him folding his arms, knowing that he's not being forthcoming. I just wanted to point that out. Let's go on.
How long ago was it that he slept with the girl that you were into?
That's what I'm saying. It's not even worth it. Two years ago, maybe. And I'm not even mad because I don't even I'm not gay, but I don't know what it is. I've just these past 2 years, I haven't been attracted to anything. Mm-hmm. I just don't want to get in trouble. Dad said when I came home and told Dad what I just told you, he looked at me. He said, "I don't believe you," and I know what that's gonna look like to freaking people who see this on a daily basis.
Dylan has shown no concern for his victim or his victim's family, only himself. The detective begins gathering DNA samples from Dylan while they wait for the crime scene investigation to finish. At that point, the detective will be made aware of Dylan's secrets, and he will confront Dylan with them.
But how long do you think they'll be done with the investigation?
Oh, I can't give a good timetable on that. I can't honestly tell you, because if I give you...
what am I supposed to do?
Well, right now, the purpose of me talking with you is to get your side of the story in the series of events. We've got detectives that are at your house talking with your parents. We've got detectives that are in the woods with other crime scene techs. I mean, it's typically these are a pretty lengthy process because we don't like to jump to conclusions or miss something. So I can't honestly give you a timetable because I'd be lying to you at that point. If I tell you, it'll be like 3 more hours, something could come up, it could be a lot longer or shorter. I honestly can't tell you how long it's going to be.
I'm just getting screwed.
Why do you say that?
So it always happens. I'll always get screwed some type of way.
There are some other people around the neighborhood that were saying that you made comments to them about wondering what it's like to kill someone recently.
No, see, this is exactly what I was telling that lady on the phone. Everybody's just gonna start saying stuff.
Which lady?
Because my dad was saying the same stuff. He was like, he's like, watching all this Dexter. I don't believe. I knew this was gonna happen. As soon as y'all start talking to people are gonna be like, oh, he talks about this. He talks about this. It's not true.
What?
Never had to. I said, I wonder how it feels like how to kill like Dexter, because you know who Dexter is.
He kills HBO show?
Yeah, he kills like rapists and stuff. But I'm not.
Young man, like, I don't understand you. Like, how do you know that this was going to happen? So in a way, if you're saying that you knew that once you started talking to everybody, that everybody was going to let them know that you do talk about things like this and this is what you're interested in. So you're saying that you already knew that if you wasn't do anything like that, that might come up. And that can also explain why you try to say that Giovanni, your best friend, tried to kill you, right? To try to make it seem like it was all self-defense. But I told you, it can't be self-defense because after you hit him with the bat, you said that he hit you with the bat first. So you hit him with the bat. Guess what? That would be the correct kind of use of force. You got the bat away from him. You hit him with the bat. After that, you were supposed to run away. You were supposed to get out the woods. You were supposed to call your father, call the cops, call Giovanni's parents. But that's not what you did. After you hit him really hard and he was woozy and he ended up laying on the floor, you hit him with the bat all over his body 6 more times. And then you didn't even call the cops or anything. You called your dad. And you said, Dad, Giovanni, he tried to kill me and I think I killed him and all the stuff like that. And then your dad ended up calling the cops and they started to come. And then you told this detective that when you saw him before you left, you said that he looked in really bad shape. So you mean to tell me that a boy who's interested in watching Dexter, watching horror films, watching killing films, or who's interested in gore, you telling me you don't know the difference between someone who is like probably almost near death's door and someone who is just like really, really injured? Like you even said that you used to kill cats. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you have seen what happens to a body, whether if it's a pet or even just on video. You have seen what happened to a body when someone dies and what starts to happen. The transformation of the body, what happens, turning black and blue, purple, looking lifeless, whatever, right? You know that. So when you told the cops, oh, he looked in pretty bad shape, was he even breathing when you was there? You know what I'm saying? Did you hear him start crying and screaming, or was he not saying anything anymore and his eyes was open? It's things like that he's not taking into consideration when he's telling his story. And again, I'm going to preach it again, even though I'm getting socio and psychopath vibes from this young man, he still deserved to have his parents there. But let's go on.
I'm gonna not kill somebody on purpose. Right now, I'm accidentally killing Gia. Right now, I can't keep the guilt from actually killing him, the anxiety away. Mm-hmm. Why would I purposely end my life like this? Like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get better after this, man.
So,
because I just bought the first season of Dexter, and it's weird because he don't have the, the anxiety, mm-hmm. and he kills bad people and stuff, you know what I'm saying? That's all I was making conversation about. But I do not remember anything about asking Zach for a baseball bat, though, because I have a baseball bat at my house, mm-hmm. obviously.
Okay. There was...
And trust me, I wouldn't kill somebody because just talking about it right now is making me just want to throw up, bro. And I want my dad here so bad, bro. I need help, bro.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was someone other than Zach that told a detective that...
Yeah, he's not even taking it seriously. He has his feet up on the table. He wants to go into I'm a child type of mindset now. Like, I didn't do anything. Like, he feels like he's being scolded, as in him actually committing a murder. Like, to him, it doesn't seem any difference. He feels that, the way how he's treating the situation with his, how he's have his foot up on the table, his feet, and he's leaned back in the chair, and he's acting like he's being grounded instead of how serious the nature is that you killed your best friend. You're not really even showing any real sincerity that your friend is gone, and it's because of you. You're more concerned about you ruining your life. You're more concerned about I'm gonna get in trouble, why I can't go home, and all the stuff like that. Everything is about you, and you think that you think that you're getting grounded. You're not getting grounded. You're not going to be sent to your room over this situation. This is real. This is not the Dexter show. or any all kind of other shows that you watch. This is real. And it's not registering to him. It's not registering him at all. And then they said that Zach, I guess that's one of his other friends that they found on the message. You asked Zach, did he have a bat? Which makes perfect sense because you said that you lost your bat a month ago. So where did your bat miraculously return? And then it also bring more whether or not if this was intentional to lure Giovanni out there to do that. If you're asking Zach if he had a bat. Now I don't know what day he asked Zach if he had a bat. That's what they know, but still. Flower says, what's the difference between a psycho and a socio? Okay, so when it comes down to the dark triads, that is all frequency. It's all different levels, right? But a sociopath, the biggest difference you could tell with a sociopath and a psychopath is that sociopaths, their emotions ranges from extremely high to extremely low. So one point they can be, a fit of rage, I hate everybody, I'm going crazy, whatever not. And they can also go low to, I'm horrible, I'm despicable, I don't deserve to live, I don't deserve to, I'm unvaluable. So they ranges from very high and low with their emotions. Psychopaths, their emotions stay the same. The way how they look at someone getting married or going to a wedding is equivalent to someone losing their life and going to a funeral. Their emotions don't change. They feel the same about everything, and they usually have a detached approach to many social things and norms, right? Very social. Yeah, exactly, bros. Yeah. Bipolar, that a lot of sociopaths are bipolar. They do have bipolar tendencies. So that's the real difference that you can see with a sociopath and with a psychopath. You could talk about a death with a psychopath or a birth of a child with a psychopath, and they sound the way how they sound about it or how they feel about it is exactly the same. And with a sociopath, it fluctuates. It fluctuates. It's weird. It's really weird. Let's see. Chucku says psychopaths lack empathy, remorse, and have a tendency to manipulate others. Sociopaths are more likely to be impulsive and erratic with a more volatile emotional response. That is correct. Thank you. Thank you, Chucku. Let's see. Bruce says you are not going to get your Xbox taken away and grounded. You are going to the pen and you deserve the chair. Yeah, it's I don't know about that. Like I said, I have a way about unaliving children. I don't like that, but I definitely understand what you're talking about, Bruce. I definitely understand. You welcome, Flower. You welcome. It is crazy, yeah. All right, let's go on.
You had told someone that you wanted to take someone out into the woods and kill them.
No, see now that I'm gonna deny because not only did I only talk about Zach with those things, it was only Zach. Mm-hmm. So I've never talked about nobody else.
Do you know?
And that those words have never came out of my mouth.
Do you know Zach's talked with anyone about that? Well, your conversation with him?
Maybe.
If he had or would talk with someone, who would he talk with? Do you know?
Probably his sisters or his family, people that live with him.
Who are his family? I don't know Zach.
Haley, Amber, and his mom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, I knew this was going to happen. Everybody's going to be like, oh, Dylan just got into this Dexter show, or oh, Dylan said something about this, and they're going to try to put me to blame for this. It's the Dexter stuff. I said, yeah, I wonder what it feels like to live with no anxiety and kill and have no anxiety and kill the bad people. That's all I said, but mm-hmm. I've never asked any of those.
About how long ago did you start watching Dexter?
Like 2 weeks.
Okay, about 2 weeks ago. How far have you gone into it?
Disc 3.
Is that what season is that?
Just the first one.
It's still the first season?
Yeah, I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna watch a TV show and then go outside and then kill somebody that's retarded. Stupid.
Have you, while watching Dexter, ever think, maybe this is something to help the anxiety go away?
No, because it doesn't look like it's helping it go away right now.
One thing the detective found interesting was as soon as the police arrived, Dylan came running out of the woods holding a pair of latex gloves. If it's true that Giovanni put them on before picking up the bat, why would Dylan be holding them?
Some of the things that they're seeing at the scene isn't really adding up with, what you told me. Well, the whole thing with the gloves, for you to grab the gloves and run out after realizing that you just beat the crap out of
Yes,
Gio,
I grabbed the gloves because I knew exactly what this was going to happen. If I didn't try to take up for myself what you're doing, I've seen too many TV shows to know what's going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. That's why I grabbed the gloves for proof. So, because when his fingerprints is all over the inside of those gloves, y'all can know that I'm telling the truth. And I knew this was going to happen.
What would happen if, you process for fingerprints and DNA? Are you familiar with, I see a lot of shows. Yes. So then you know that fingerprints are unique to each person, right? Yes. And that DNA is unique to each person. Even identical twins don't have the same DNA. So when we process these gloves for fingerprints and DNA, what would happen, or what would you say if I come and say, you know what, Gio's DNA was not in the gloves. His fingerprints were not in the gloves.
There's got to be at least one fingerprint in the gloves. Because I know my fingerprints are going to be in the gloves. I'm going to already tell you. I picked up the gloves. My fingerprints are going to be on the baseball bat. His fingerprints are going to be on the baseball bat.
But is your DNA going to be inside the gloves, like in the fingertips?
No.
Like you were wearing the gloves?
No. My DNA, I know where my DNA is going to be at because when I picked them up, the gloves were inside out.
Mm-hmm. Well, what about like the tips of the fingers? Like if you had put it on your hand, would it be?
I didn't put the gloves on. I just held them like this. And they were inside out, and then when he told me to drop them, I dropped them right there by the woods.
But I'm just struggling to understand why you say for proof. What
This is
proof?
what you're doing right now, and what them detectives are saying. I knew this was going to happen. I'm not stupid.
So he doesn't understand that he's given himself up once again because you're saying, I knew this was going to happen. I knew I had to take the gloves. I knew that I had to show that, that his DNA is also on the gloves. His DNA is also on the bat. So again, this doesn't read as some freak incident that you and him got into a fist fight that turned into a deadly, situation, right? Where you had to defend yourself. It shows premeditated. It shows that you took time to think about how was you going to have this set up so it will be more in your benefit if you had to go the self-defense route. That's what shows when you're talking to him in this way. You're not showing that you was a person that that you don't know why your friend Giovanni flipped out on you, why he decided to attack you, and that you was put in a situation where, listen, I don't want bodily harm to happen to me. So this is what happened. You're not giving that up. You're saying, I knew this. I knew this. I knew what y'all looking for. I knew what y'all was asking for. I knew it was going to be this. I knew that y'all was going to check this. So it is showing that you was doing your homework before this incident occurred. That's not going to help you. Even saying that does not help your case. It makes it really look like you planned this out, that you lured that boy to the woods. And it wasn't just to smoke weed and for y'all to go play baseball afterwards. You lured that boy to the woods because you was mad at him, because he liked a girl that you like and the girl probably liked him. And y'all wasn't talking 2 weeks ago about it. You the one who called him up. And that's another thing too. You're the one who called him to go out to play baseball. This is getting bad, and it's getting worse and worse as it goes on. Oh my God.
I'm not saying you are, but by all means, that's the last thing I'm saying. I'm just struggling to understand. You say that you grabbed these gloves for proof.
Yes.
To prove what, though?
That he came at me first.
Well, how would the gloves prove he came at you first?
Because he had them on when he was using the baseball glove. He had the gloves first and the baseball bat first. He had both those first. I grabbed the baseball bat, and then after I was done with the baseball bat, then I grabbed the gloves. And the gloves were inside out. So if my DNAs are on the fingertips, they're going to be there because the gloves were inside out, dude.
Were they completely inside out?
Yes, like they were blue on his hands. He went like this, and it came all the way out, and on the inside were like white. And I don't say they're going to be near the fingertips, but they're going to be on the inside of the glove because the glove was inside out.
And you said Gio's fingerprints would be on the bat as well?
Baseball bat and the gloves, there's no doubt about that because he had both of them first before I did.
How did he have the bat before you if you brought the bat?
I put it behind me, and he told me to turn around because he was taking a piss, and when I heard the crink, he picked it up.
But didn't you say he put the gloves on at some point behind you?
Yeah, at some point, because when I turned around, he already had the gloves on, but he had just picked up the baseball bat because I heard his footstep behind me.
Well, how would his fingerprints be on the bat if he had the gloves on?
We got into a struggle. He's gotta have there's gotta be his fingerprints on that bat.
But from what you've told me, he had the gloves on when he had the bat.
When he had the bat.
See, and the more that he talked, it doesn't make any sense because you said that he went to go take a piss. So did he go take the piss with the latex gloves on? Then you walked behind him and then he went and turned and grabbed the bat and hit you? And then why would here's another thing. Why was the gloves inside out? We all have had latex gloves before. Most of them come already, properly ready to put on. Did you purposely turn the gloves inside out? So even if he did have some DNA or did touch the gloves at one point in time, that boy's DNA would show inside the gloves? Is that what you're trying to tell the detectives? Again, it still makes it seem that everything was planned. It does not make you look innocent. It makes you look even worse. And it just doesn't make any sense. Why, if y'all not even leaving yet to go to the park, wherever y'all supposed to be going to go play baseball, what was the point of him putting on the latex gloves in there? Like, what was the point? It's just too much stuff going on. Just too much stuff. Let's see. Flower said, did he really just say after I was done with the baseball bat? Yes, he did. Bruce said they went to his house to get the bat. What guy lets another guy grab his bat? Oh, the bat's over there. Go get it. No, it's my bat. I'm going to get it. Right. Bruce also says if he has gloves on when he grabbed the bat, his fingerprints wouldn't be on the bat. Yes, exactly. So if he had gloves on, his fingerprints would never be on the bat. It would never be on the bat. So again, it doesn't even prove what he was trying to set up to do. Because he made it very clear to the detective, you will find his fingerprints on the bat, you would find his fingerprints on the glove. So that kind of beats your purpose because you can't even prove if he ever picked up the bat. And then on top of that, you don't have any injuries that show that you was hit in the face, because he said that he hit him with the bat in the face and punched him. You don't show any scars or any wounds that will let anybody know that you had some blunt force hit you to your face. But this boy is beaten to a pulp, but you're not. There's nothing going on with you. No scars, no bruises, no scratches, nothing to show that it was a tussle, nothing. This is getting bad. It's getting bad. Okay. So I don't know why you think by saying it in Spanish that I don't understand. ¿Me entiendes? I do. But have a nice day. I think I read this already. Yep. And let's see. I think it was premeditated. Yeah. It was premeditated. Let's go on.
He went to hit you, you blocked it, you grabbed the bat, and as you grabbed it, he punched you and let go of the bat.
Yes.
And then he threw the gloves down.
Yes.
And came at you, and that's when you hit him.
Yes, but it was a fight, so he grabbed the. See what I'm saying? I knew this was gonna happen.
I'm not trying to trick you. I'm not trying to do any, funny business. I'm just trying to go for what you told me, and then what we have and piece it together.
I'm trying to go as exactly what happened as I'm close to going. But it's kind of hard when all that stuff is happening and remember every little detail. But he did have the gloves on when he had the baseball bat. But he's got to have fingerprints in the gloves and on the baseball bat, not just mine.
How would he have fingerprints on the bat though? Like if he's wearing the gloves, he's grabbing the bat, he wouldn't leave fingerprints. But then you say after you were able to take the bat and he punched you, he threw the gloves down, said and just came at you, and then you hit him in the side of the head, he backed up, and then you hit him 6 more times, he went down, and then you hit him more. But during that sequence, I don't understand how his fingerprints would be on the bat.
Maybe like he grabbed it or something.
Well, I mean, you were there. I wasn't. Did he grab the bat? Did he not?
I can understand Spanish and written Spanish. But thank you, Bruce. I appreciate you.
Go in there planning on killing him. I went in there and planned on smoking weed with him. I knew this was gonna happen. As soon as I freaking got out the woods and called 911, I was like, watch some crazy crap happen and all this turn around on me. I knew this was gonna happen.
Well, when you say you knew it would happen, what do you mean you knew it would happen?
Like as soon as I was freaking done, when I was done and going outside the woods, I was like, oh my God, watch it all be my fault. Watch me be the only one to get in trouble. Watch me to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I knew this was gonna happen.
Well, who else would be in trouble if it wasn't just you?
I didn't know Gio was gonna die. I thought he would freaking be alive, and then when he got back up, y'all could arrest him for coming at me, but I didn't know he was gonna die. And now that he's dead, I have no way to prove my innocence. No way at all. See, I'm basically just screwed here.
It appears that Dylan either doesn't understand or he doesn't care about the situation he is in.
Hi, Bridget,
Dylan
darling.
fantasized about becoming a serial killer, but when it came time to take a life, Dylan realized he wasn't the real-life Dexter.
You see, but it wasn't a homicide. I didn't want to go in there and kill him, bro. Everybody's trying to make it sound like I planned it. And everybody's trying to, you're like asking questions. The detectives are saying, well, this doesn't, everybody's trying to make it seem like I planned it. When all I was trying to be was a good guy and go in there and get my friend high. That's all I was trying to do, I swear.
Okay. And
yeah, see, like, you did plan it. And you're more concerned about what everybody else is saying, but I want to know who is everybody. You're only speaking to the detectives. Your parents just recently found out that Giovanni is not alive. Yes, they spoke to character witnesses and other people like your friends and stuff like that. Yes, they looked at your social media, your messages on your phone and on Facebook, and they have an idea about your character and your personality. But why are you saying that everybody's saying this and everybody's saying that? And at the end of the day, why do you care? Why do you care? If you really just did this because it was self-defense, then you would be like, the way how he's acting would be completely different. I would not act like this if this was my best friend. If you look at this person as your friend, your real friend, your best friend, anything happening to that person, you feel the same way about them as if you lost a family member, because truly they are your family, right? Your friends, those type of relationships, they are your extended family. They are the family that you cultivated yourself, right? They're not the family that was bestowed upon you. They are the family that you created from your own conscious mind. You decided to be friends with this person. So that is your family, just the extended part. You're not acting like you lost a family member. You're not acting like you lost a friend. And then on top of that, you're saying, all I wanted to do was, get my friend high. Why did you want to get him high? Why did you want to get him high? You said that you were just arguing and beefing with him 2 weeks ago because of a girl. And then now, there's a lot of loopholes and a lot of things that he's saying. And it's hard because, I know he's lying. The detectives know he's lying. A lot of things is not making sense. And I told you from the beginning, the self-defense was going to go out the window because you beat that boy to a pulp. And you just said that when he hit you with the bat, and this is what you want him to believe, the detective, you want him to believe that he had the gloves on initially to take a piss. He punched you, grabbed the bat, hit you, then you punched him back or hit him back with the bat. Then he had time to take off the gloves and hit you again with the bat. You grabbed the bat for him, put the gloves on, and then you beat him to a pulp. Like that doesn't even, I don't even see that making sense. And it doesn't even make sense to how a self-defense claim will work with that, because that's just too many seconds being used for insignificant things, right? If he wanted to attack you and harm you, he would never drop the damn bat. He would never have took time to take off the gloves, right? It doesn't make sense. And usually when it doesn't make sense, it's not true. That's what I've learned. If it does not make sense most of the time, it's not true. I'm not saying that we don't have weird situations and weird shit don't happen. That's true too. But most of the time, if it does not make sense, it is not true. And I think I have a couple of more people that came in here. Let's see. That is a he. That is a he, Bridget. Yep. Yeah. And let's see. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Good to see you, dear. I hope everything is well. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, a metal bat, Bridget. Yeah, a metal bat. It's crazy. No, he's not sorry. He is not sorry at all. Oh, thank you, Bridget. I truly appreciate your compliment. Thank you so much, sis. Truly appreciate it. It's just, I'm really saddened by this, though. I really am. This is really sad. Let's see. John said he should have had a lawyer too, at least to get his life. Yes, John. I've been saying this whole entire time. Even if he is guilty, and I believe that he is guilty, I don't think this was self-defense. I believe that he premeditated to harm his friend Giovanni because he was angry with him that a girl that he liked Giovanni back, and he felt like he needed to get him out the way. He had already admitted that he was into gore. He was into Dexter. He was into writing in chats and discourse and stuff that he would love to feel or know how it feels to take someone's life, to take a person's life. He already admitted that he used to kill cats when he was 11 years old and lizards. So yeah. Man. All right, let's go on. This is really getting really, really sad, man. And he really not taking it seriously. You can tell he's getting even more frustrated because the detective is not buying it. He's not showing him any sympathy of him being a young man, that he ruined his life, and he's not showing him that. So he's getting frustrated because it's not being taken as, oh, like a little slap on the wrist, you're grounded, and you're going to be able to go back to your life and go to graduation. He knows that the detective is not reading it in that way, and you could tell by his face, you could tell by the way how he's folding his arms, how he's leaning back. He's getting very angry about it, but it's an inner rage that's happening right now. It's an inner rage that he's showing right now with his body language. But let's go on.
I'm not saying that you planned this, or I'm not saying that you wanted to kill him. All right, my job as a detective is to ask a lot of questions. That's what I do. All right, and when I've got other detectives that obviously I'm not there in the woods, I'm not seeing what they're seeing. All right, they relay information to me. They say, "Hey, what about this?" I was like, "You know what? I don't know. Let me ask them." That's how it works. All right, I know it's a lot of questions. It's frustrating and it's stressful, but
it's stressful because it's looking like they're gonna pin this all on me now, bro. And now I'm really scared because I didn't do anything wrong. Oh my God, my life's already ruined, man. What am I gonna do? Can you give me any ideas? I mean,
with what?
What am I gonna do, man?
Unfortunately, I've got nothing to help answer that question of what's next or what do you do next. I've never been in that situation that you're sitting in.
Me either, man. I need help. Man.
I mean, you did a number on him. I mean, looking at him, his parents showed me a picture of him before I walked in the woods, and looking at him lying there, he didn't even look the same. Right? His face is unrecognizable. His parents are not going to be able to have an open casket viewing for him because that's how bad his face is.
And you don't think I feel bad about that, man?
Well, I can't say
No,
what you
you
think
don't
or what
feel
you
bad
because I'm
about
not
it.
you.
I feel bad. I feel like shit. I feel like I'm a monster. I feel like I don't deserve to live.
Because, I mean, you felt that bad. I haven't touched it. I haven't held it. I don't know how heavy it is, but, I mean, that is dented. Like, flattened. Because of how hard you hit him. Alright? And that takes a lot.
I know, man. I know. What do you think I'm telling myself right now? I thought I was an anxious kid who fucking couldn't do all that. But when he punched me, I don't know what happened inside me, bro. It just everything went away. And it was just me or him. That's all it was. I'm telling you, bro. You don't understand.
So when he punched you in that face, in your face, from earlier you said your blood started boiling and you had that rage, if you would, of, like, I want to kill him, and that's when the swinging started. Am I right? Is that accurate? I mean,
Yes.
and have you ever felt that before?
Yes.
When?
Almost every fight that I've been in, but I've never had a baseball bat
Mm-hmm.
to hit somebody with. It's always been my fists.
How many fights have you been in the past, if you had to guess? I know
In the past year, I've been doing really good. I haven't gotten, except this. This is the first altercation I've been in since 2015.
Okay. And is that when you were?
I got arrested for the fight with him.
What about in the past, say, 5 years? How many fights have you gone in, if you had to guess?
2.
In the end, Dylan would be charged and convicted of first-degree murder, and he received 60 years in prison with a chance of parole after 25 years. Dylan thought imitating a serial killer on TV would solve all his problems, but instead, it cost him at least 25 years of his life. What are your thoughts on this case? What would you do if someone told you they wanted to know what it would feel like to kill?
Serve him right, okay? He got 60 years with the possibility of parole in 25 years. It was first-degree murder, like I said. After he really told the story, he intended to unalive that boy. He gave all the information out. He gave the means, the opportunity, and the motive behind why he wanted to get rid of Giovanni. And I mean, I understand he should have got longer, but that was, that's a good amount. That definitely is a good amount. He has no remorse. He didn't care. And then he also just admitted that Giovanni only punched him. And that's only if I'm even believing him that even Giovanni hurt him. I don't even think Giovanni even touched him. I believe that, then this is my opinion, and I could be wrong, but tell you the truth, from all the information that we got from him and his and what he have said, I believe he called Giovanni early in the morning. He said, "Hey, I got some weed. Let's go play some ball. I got my bat, or I found my bat back." Giovanni said, "Okay." He got him, scooped them up wherever they met up at. He took them all the way out in the woods, and he already had those gloves, those latex gloves in his pocket and stuff like that. They smoked weed a little bit. Giovanni went to the bathroom. He told him, "Listen, dude, don't go watch me. Don't look at my dick, whatever. Now I'm just going to go take a piss real quick." And I believe that he already had the gloves on, or did not have the gloves on. He didn't listen to Giovanni, went behind him and cracked him in his head. He cracked him in his head and he started beating that boy to a pulp. I don't even believe that Giovanni even touched him. I really don't. And the reason why I don't believe Giovanni touched him, because once in the beginning he said Giovanni punched him and then he hit him with the bat, right? And then he said by the time he got punched, he was already wanting to kill Giovanni. This is what this boy said. But again, if Giovanni had the bat first before you got the bat, then if Giovanni really wanted to hurt you, he would have continued to held on to the bat. There would have been some scratching, some fighting. You would have been rolled. Your clothes would have been dirty. Something, you know what I'm saying? There would have been other things to show that it was a scuffle. There was nothing on your clothing when they retrieved it. There's nothing on your body that showed that you got into a scuffle and that you had to defend your life. Nothing. But Giovanni don't even look the same. You disfigured that boy that he can't even have an open casket. How do you know how hard you have to hit a person if the metal bat had bent, the metal bat had dents in it? You was hitting that boy with every inch of strength you had in your body. You was going pound town on that boy. It's truly, truly disgusting. Truly disgusting. And it's terrible that you really try to play this off as self-defense, and you thought by looking at all these shows and everything like that, you knew exactly what you do to get off, to get off. And it's sad. And it's sad that even a boy had to lose his life. It's sad that these are signs that your parents was not watching out for you, that they were supposed to go get you to get help. You was already showing signs by the age of 11. They should have went and gotten you some type of help and or something going on, right? It's just a lot of dropping of the ball that went there. And even with the friends, like, I know kids, they don't rat on each other. Snitches get stitches, whatever not. But if you have someone sitting in a group chat always talking about death and always talking about unaliving people, or what do you think, or I want to unalive this person, or I want to feel how it takes to take someone's life and stuff like that, and you're not saying, you're not alarming your family or your friends or even removing yourself from it, there's a big problem with that. That's not normal behavior to have that on your mind 24/7. Nobody can even convince me that, right? Even people who study and who is interested in gore is not thinking about that 24/7. Not in that way. So I serve him right. Prayers to the boy and his family. That's just really sad, but it's something that we need to be aware of, because a lot of things like this is going on today. A lot of things like this is going on today. All right, so I do have another one for you guys. So make sure you're hitting the like button for me. I truly appreciate it. It helps the channel. If you like to financially support, I have super chats, super thanks. You can send a gift, or you can also join my membership. I even have a merchandise for the channel. Whatever way how you do it, share this out. I truly appreciate it. If anybody is interested in these type of cases and review, please share that out to anybody who you think will be interested. So the next case I have for you is a Southern couple discovers something horrific in House of Horrors. So I guess they was looking for a young girl or a young woman, and they found more than what they was actually looking for. And we need to look into this and see how this all played out. So here we go. Let me share my screen. And here we go.
And we were just driving around.
This is Charlie Radel and his girlfriend Jackie Neal. They are currently standing at the front gate of an abandoned farmhouse in Lake Brownwood, Texas, commonly referred to as the Haunted House. Moments earlier, they
Okay. We found her.
Okay, does she need any medical attention?
Is she alive? She's dead. We were looking for Shantae Blankenship.
Shantae Blankenship had gone missing 2 days earlier while out on one of her usual evening walks. Her family quickly became concerned because Shantae could not read or write more than a few words. She could not drive, hold a job, or live independently. After receiving this call from Charlie and Jackie, who were helping search for Shantae, officers were immediately dispatched to the haunted house, roughly 5 miles away from where Shantae lived. They told the officers that when they arrived at the house, they quickly noticed fresh tire tracks in the dirt.
There's
buddy. Y'all want to have a seat in the truck so we don't make any more footprints than we've already got.
The officers went over to the storm cellar themselves, and inside they found Shantae exactly how Charlie described.
So, trigger warning, everyone. I think they're gonna do a good job not to show too much stuff that's graphic, but trigger warning, if this is too much for you, go ahead and take a break. I do not mind. Truly appreciate you just coming to stop by anyway. But prayers to this young woman. I think there is a special place in hell for people who do cruel things like this, especially to someone who is disabled. You know, someone who needs supervision because of how they were raised or how they was brought up or how they were born, right? Obviously, this poor woman that they were looking for, this young woman, she was a autistic adult, so she has to have supervision throughout the remaining of her life. She can't do certain things by herself, and someone took advantage of that. Someone took advantage of the fact that she can't speak and that she can't really defend, she can't really protect or defend herself, um that's extremely terrible. And then the simple fact from what the couples described about how they found her body is truly horrifying. Truly horrifying. So I'm hoping to find out whether or not if this was some ritual type of murder. It's starting to seem like it, right? It seems like it. It seemed like a ritual because they said that she was hung upside down and she was beaten to a pulp. We don't know if anything else happened to her. We'll probably find out as the video goes on, but there's a special place in hell for people like this. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Let's see. Okay, young Riaz. Okay. Hey Moa, long time no see. No, good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. I hope everything's well with you. Yeah, I know. I know, young Riaz. We know that you're autistic. You are my autistic little brother, so I don't like stuff like this. Let's go on.
Her. She had cuts and bruises all over her face and head. They also found a random lawnmower blade beside her body and more blood on the outside of the storm cellar.
And there's blood spatter on that brick, so you know she's bleeding good.
It was clear that something horrific had happened to Shantae. The officers immediately secured the scene and performed a search of the property, starting right outside of the gate. In addition to the tire marks and the hair on the gate, there was also a trail of colorful bracelets scattered on the ground leading up to her body.
Here's another pink man right here, John.
Shantae was known to wear these bracelets on her arm, but it was not yet clear why or how they had come off. Leading up to the storm cellar, more hair was found. The hair was later confirmed as Shantae's. When the coroner examined her, they determined that the cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head, likely from the lawnmower blade found at the scene. They noticed that in addition to the cuts and bruises on her head and face, she also had bruises on her neck, arms, and legs. They also found male DNA on her body. But perhaps the most perplexing injuries were the jagged lines on her chest. No one had any idea what could have caused this type of injury. Since Shantae went missing on Friday the 13th, and her body was found at the haunted house, they wondered if whoever did this had a strange fixation with horror. While investigators continued processing the crime scene, officers went to the North Lake Church to inform the search party that the investigation was now a homicide.
And this is the church, North Lake. Pastor? How are you, sir?
see Shantae alive. So the detectives asked around to gather more information about him. They found out that Colin lived right around the corner from Shantae. He was in his early 20s and did odd jobs around the neighborhood, which included mowing lawns. Sometimes Colin and Shantae would go on joyrides together.
You used to ride around with them.
So this guy wasn't even her boyfriend, and she ended up meeting up with him. I didn't even know she had a boyfriend. Uh, but that is kind of weird. Like, why would you tell her to meet him at the shed at this certain time and come by yourself and all the stuff like that? And her thinking that, she know this guy, the guys in the area, she hung out with him before and stuff like that. That's what, gives people like this access. Now, I'm not trying to condemn the guy because we don't know yet whether or not if he's the suspect, but it just seems quite alarming that was done around the time where she went missing. This is some really spooky, scary stuff, man. Oh, Moa, if you just go to the main page, you can hit the membership button if you're interested, darling, if you're interested. But thank you, sweetie. Let's see. Bruce said I've been distracted making a grocery list. Okay, don't worry about it. Yes, Samantha, is some scary stuff. It really is. All right, let's go on. And I'm just so disgusted right now.
Stuff, and he used to just do stupid stuff, and he like firing up drunk.
The detectives decided to go to Colin's house to get his side of the story.
How you doing, sir? I'm Jason Shea. I'm with the Texas Rangers. What's your name? Colin.
They asked Colin when he last saw Shantae, and he said that he saw her from afar as she passed through the neighborhood on her usual evening walk.
But probably around the last time we seen her, it was around 6:37.
They then asked if the two had any sort of romantic relationship. According to Colin, Shantae had unrequited love for him.
I had to change my number because she would call it. At all?
So never.
Having answered all of their questions, Colin seemed cooperative, but they couldn't take his word on anything just yet. They asked if he would come down to the station to take a polygraph test. He reluctantly agreed.
Why are we here today, Colin?
Well, you want to find out who the murderer is. I want to prove to them that it ain't me.
Colin seemed confident in proving his innocence right up until they were about to begin the polygraph, when suddenly he changed his story. He told the polygraph examiner that he actually did have a romantic relationship with Shantae.
So I don't know if it's just me but Collins looked way older than Shantae, right? He looks way older. He doesn't look like he's necessarily in her age group. Then on top of that, he said that we saw her, doing her regular walk around 6 p.m. and 7:30, but that goes completely different than what her friend or girlfriend, or I think a family member said, that she got a message from Collins telling her to meet him behind the shed at this particular time, right? And then he literally said in the beginning that he didn't have any relationship with her. But then the heat came on because he knew that he was not going to pass the polygraph test if they would have asked him again, have you had any sexual relations or been with that girl in that way? So now he wants to come out and tell the truth about that. Now, even so, that doesn't make you a murderer yet, not necessarily. However, why would you withhold that information? So was you not supposed to be messing with this girl? Is there a reason why that nobody knew that you or could know that you could have a sexual relationship with this girl? Because that would be the only reason why you're actually hiding it. Or if you're a married man yourself and you don't want it to get out, those are reasons why you would hide that, right? So it doesn't help him. I'm glad he came out with it, first, because he would have looked like a damn fool if they would have came back and say, well, you know what, you didn't pass your polygraph test. We asked you these 5 questions and it said that you were lying, right? But let's see what else. I mean, even if he does do the polygraph test, of course they was going to ask him other questions, and maybe he would have been concerned about that too. But let's see what else he has to say. Yeah, something doesn't smell right. I agree. Something doesn't smell right at all. And also, I'm looking at his mannerisms. His mannerisms has completely changed. Before the actual polygraph is gonna start, he was all smiling. He had a whole smick on his face. You know, he was full of confidence, right? And then now he's looking like he's ashamed. Hmm.
We thought we were dating.
Where did you stay that night?
On the couch in my brother's living room. Fall asleep watching basketball game.
Shortly after, the detective spoke with Colin's brother, and he, along with several other family members, confirmed Colin's alibi. This wasn't the strongest alibi, since all of the witnesses vouching for him were part of his family. But for now, they hit a dead end with Colin and decided to move on with their investigation. The detectives looked into several more persons of interest as well, including Charlie Radel and Jackie Neal, the ones who found Shantae's body. They wanted to know what inclined this couple to go out into the middle of nowhere, 5 miles away from where everybody else was searching, where they happened to find this obscured abandoned house. So they invited them both to the station and interviewed Charlie first.
Do you go by Charlie?
Everybody don't go by Chap.
Chap. Okay.
CFJP, yeah.
Apparently, Charlie had seen Shantae around noon on the day she disappeared.
Did you participate in killing Shantae?
Shantae, no.
Did you kill Shantae?
No.
No deception was detected in any of Charlie's answers, and the detectives had no solid evidence pointing to him as a suspect. They came to the same conclusion during Jackie's interview as well. Their DNA was collected and they were put on the back burner while the detectives waited for the results from the crime lab. In the meantime, investigators moved on to their next person of interest, Shantae's boyfriend John. They wondered if John had found out about Shantae's alleged love affair with Colin and killed her to get revenge. 2 days after Shantae's body was found, John allowed the detectives to inspect his and Shantae's shared bedroom.
Can we go inside?
Yeah.
Is this where y'all live in here?
Yeah.
Is there anything missing out of here?
No.
Can we have this brush? I'll dump this out. So she goes everywhere with her purse, but she just didn't have her purse today?
After an uneventful search, they headed back outside and told John the main reason they were there, to investigate him as a and his level of cooperation was unaffected. He proceeded to take the detectives on a tour of the property to look for more clues. During this search, the detectives stumbled upon what appeared to be a lawnmower graveyard.
Man, do you guys have a lawn care service or something? What is that on that hammer? Is that for pulling out nails or something?
Considering Shantae had been killed with a lawnmower blade, this greatly increased their suspicion of John. Following this search, he was asked to come to the station for an interview. Once he arrived, the detectives asked him if they could...
Yes, this guy is Shantae's boyfriend. But I'm glad that they pointed out that he has a lot of equipment that's equivalent to the murder weapon that was used on Shantae, right? To me personally, and this is just reviewing this with you guys, it's either that other guy or the boyfriend, right? And who even knows if it was both of them, who worked together? Who knows, right? This is just really sad, really. It's really, really sad. It's quite disgusting. And it seems like this is a very close-knit type of community. Like there's not that many families in this community. So everybody really know each other. They know their day-to-day activities and where they go and what tasks they do during the day. So it's like, I want to hear what the boyfriend has to say. I really do. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Hope everything is well. He says, a lawnmower blade is the weapon? Yes, it is. A rusty lawnmower blade is the weapon. And you saw I guess the garage looked like a lawnmower's graveyard with all this type of pieces of different lawnmowers and stuff like that, with the blade, the actual battery pack. So, that's what triggered them to be like, yeah, you know what, maybe you need to come down and have a couple of questions and with us. But let's see what he has to say.
Analyze his cell phone data, to which he happily agreed.
So the last time you talked to her on the phone...
John told the detectives that the last time he spoke to Shantae wasn't on the phone, it was in person. He gave them the same story that the other witnesses gave. He picked her up from the Monte Carlo cafe and drove her home. They both showered before he... This was later confirmed by the security cameras at John's work, along with the timesheets that indicated when he clocked in and out. After his overnight shift, he returned home at about 5 a.m., but Shantae was nowhere to be found.
That's when you discovered she wasn't there.
Yeah, I went and called her in.
Did you start calling her phone?
Yeah, I called her phone and it's
John's timeline checked out, but it didn't mean that he was ruled out just yet. They still hadn't questioned John about Shantae's alleged love affair with Colin.
Yeah, you had a girlfriend? Huh? You had another girlfriend?
Yeah.
You want to go to the top thing that you
No. I'm a faithful man. I'm always.
So did she ever tell you that she had been sexually intimate with anybody else
never say anything about that. I would have to.
Say no, or he just avoid contact.
Avoid contact and if they know.
The detectives revealed everything Colin had told them. John claimed this affair was news to him and seemed emotionally affected by it. Following this interview, John was free to go. There was no reason to label him as a suspect until the investigators looked through his cell phone data. It turns out that there were several messages John had deleted directly before heading to the police station. So the detectives asked John to come back to the station the next day, and they immediately confronted him about the messages.
Or do you delete?
So, as you see, everything is different now. His whole mannerism is different. Before, he was very, leaning forward, like he was really concerned. He wants to help get to the bottom of this. He was shocked and alarmed that, that he found out that his girlfriend could have had a affair with another person in that community. And then he was so willing to give his phone without thinking that the detectives can get back those erased messages, right? I'm going to let everybody know they have up to 10 days to retrieve anything off your phone, okay? So they can go back to up to 10 days that they can get any pictures, videos, messages, you name it, off your data, okay? And even if you erase it, it can always be retrieved because it's associated to a cloud system. And all they have to do is just go to the actual company or internet provider, phone provider, and they can retrieve that. So you have 10 days. They can go back up to 10 days. Let's go on.
Your text messages.
Eventually, John gave another explanation for the deleted messages.
I smoke weed and I just don't want that. That's the only thing that would be in there.
Apparently, John deleted some incriminating messages between him and his dealer. The detectives weren't buying it, so they applied more pressure, trying to get John to confess. However, just like last time, they had no choice but to let him go. And after looking further into the deleted text messages, it turns out John was telling the truth. But the detectives weren't done with him just yet. They reached out to John and Shantae's inner circle to see what dirt they could dig up. Apparently, John's jealousy had affected the relationship on more than one occasion. For example, one of Shantae's friends, Bitsy Hobbs, was able to recall overhearing a fight between the couple.
You said I'm your boyfriend, and I have a right. She said, no, you don't. You do not have control over me. I'll see whoever I want to. No control over me. You cannot tell me what to do. Well, went on cussing.
Those who were close to John also said that around the time of Shantae's murder, he seemed to believe that the relationship was a lost cause and expected it to end sometime soon. But this new information still wasn't enough to obtain a confession, so they interviewed John 2 more times. And each time, he maintained that while his relationship wasn't perfect, he would never lay a hand on her. Once again, this lead fizzled out and was put on the back burner while they awaited DNA results. During their initial interviews with members of the church, some people said that they saw a red and white Ford Bronco driving around the area Shantae disappeared. After searching the database and asking around, they found a young man that drove this vehicle, the only one in town with a red and white Bronco. His name was Bobby Souza, a so-called party animal. While stopping by his residence, Bobby let the detectives search his house, shed, and trailer for evidence, but they didn't find anything. He also agreed to come down to the station for an interview.
I understand you guys gotta do your job.
Bobby said that he drove by Shantae while driving around that night, but had nothing to do with her disappearance.
If you did have something to do with this, you need to let me know now.
I would have told you they would.
He explained that he was at a party at the time that Shantae disappeared, and that his fellow partygoers could vouch for him. Following this interview, the detectives were easily able to confirm Bobby's claims, crossing a potential suspect off their list. This list was actually much bigger than the 6 names you see here. Throughout the entirety of this case, there were dozens of leads, and the detectives looked into every single one of them. They even investigated the pastor of the community church at one point. None of these leads panned out. To make matters worse, the DNA results results came back and none of the suspects were a match, and nothing in the CODIS National DNA database matched either. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months. Shantae's pink-decorated funeral came and went. All the while, the killer roamed free. Hopes to bring this monster to justice slowly faded, and trust in the neighborhood faded with it.
So everybody that they ran the DNA test with, it came back that that wasn't their DNA. So what I think what happened was the guy who said he was a party animal, Sosa, there was a party, right? That doesn't mean that everybody who's at the party is from the community or from that actual, town. It could have been an outsider. It could be someone who could be the next town over, or who's just not in the database, right? But I don't know. Like, to me, something's like a little bit off. Like, I don't think that it was just one person. Like, I'm sorry, I could be wrong. Most likely, I probably am. But I'm not. It's just not reading to me that it was just one person. It seems something was quite personal, or it's something that this whoever did that to her hated women or loathed women, or they were into what is it? What's the word? Devaluing women, right? Because they found DNA all over her body. She had weird marks on the middle of her chest. That's what gave me the whole ritual aspect. The haunted house, she was literally hanging upside down. Obviously, they said that she was beaten. She was beaten to a pulp, and then she was hit in the head with the lawnmower blade, right? So it's a lot of things that just seem so personal that happened to her. It still feels ritual to me, and that could be someone who is like a serial killer, someone who's a sociopath. I'm not still. To tell you the truth, I'm still not ruling them out. I'm not ruling them out. They might not have put their DNA on her, but that doesn't mean that they wasn't involved. I'm just saying. It just is going crazy to me. It's my mind is have so many different ideas of what could have happened. It's just insane. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Bruce. You are so sweet. You are so sweet, Bruce. Thank you. Hey, Sherelle, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope everything is well with you, dear. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Okay, so let's go on.
Somebody knew what happened to Shantae, yet nobody came forth. One day, in 2017, a retired Brown County investigator was watching a true crime show and learned about a brand new DNA technique.
Digging a little deeper, we found that the technology is called Snapshot. It's created by a company based out of Virginia called Parabon. It uses DNA to configure the physical attributes of a person. But the best part, the technology doesn't need much to do the test. As little as a 13th of your saliva from a sip of a bottle of water is enough to make a profile.
He told Brown County Sergeant Scott Bird about this new technology, and after convincing some colleagues, funding was approved. The authorities submitted the DNA to the Parabon Nanolabs in Virginia, and 5 months later, they came back with this profile. A Caucasian man of Northern European descent with blue eyes and brown hair. Law enforcement immediately posted the image online, hoping that somebody could point out who it resembled. As the image was shared between Shantae's family, her half-brother Cutter immediately thought of someone, his high school bully, Ryan Riggs. The resemblance was uncanny. Ryan had just started working in lawn care around the time of Shantae's disappearance. He was also a member of her church, and not only did he help search for her, but he even came to her funeral. Although he didn't enter the building, he waited in line, got to the front door, flipped through the service program, and then left. Looking through his criminal record, he was also a suspect in an illegal dumping case. Someone had been dumping trash bags on a county road in the same area as the haunted house. The detectives went to Ryan's residence, but it was already too late. Ryan was gone. They immediately launched a manhunt, but before it could get off the ground, something shocking happened. On November 17th, 2017, right before a regular Wednesday night church service, Ryan showed up with his parents. He asked Pastor Ron Keener if he could confess to the congregation during the service, and the pastor agreed. The service commenced with Ryan standing at the pulpit.
In his brokenness, he said that I need to make things right with you, But more importantly, I need to make things right with God and with my church family. And he said, I need to confess something to you. And he said, I murdered her.
Everybody was devastated. Some dropped to their knees in sorrow, while others were consumed by anger. Pastor Keener invited these people to the pulpit, and one by one, they embraced Ryan and told him they forgive him and that he was loved. Once the service ended, Pastor Keener drove Ryan to the sheriff's office to be turned in. When he arrived, he was brought into the interrogation room for questioning.
You good? You okay? Bottle of water? I'm gonna have one. Just have one. Okay.
Come on, church folks. Church folks. That ain't your people no more. Okay? That's not your people anymore. Y'all gotta stop that. Some people are not supposed to be forgiven by you. Maybe by God, but not by you. Okay? Like, he murdered one of your churchgoers who always went to church in the most brutal, heinous way. And he only came in that one time, and he didn't even come in. He just got a pamphlet, sat down, and he walked right out. He came there in a way, it seemed like he came there to stalk her, or he saw her and he wanted to know where she be at. Like, that's what stalkers do, right? I understand, but like, come on now, like, he is no longer a part of you by him doing something like that. And you can't have him feel comfort as in, it's okay. It's okay that you unalive this woman. It's okay that you raped this woman. It's okay that you hung her upside down like it was an upside down cross and beat this woman to a pulp. It's okay that you took a lawnmower blade and you hit her upside her head. No, you do not want to give people who do things like that a grace, because that's not it. That's just not it. You gotta stop stuff like that. You gotta stop it, please. I don't like stuff like that. That's ridiculous. Absolutely not.
Sheriff just gave me a call a little while ago and said that you got something off your chest, and we're just gonna see if you tell us what you got off your chest.
I'm the one who murdered Shantae Blankenship.
When did this happen?
On Friday the 13th.
So this happened on Friday the 13th. Tell me about that day. How did you start that day out?
It was just like an average day to me.
Not someone doing nothing like that.
I did what I did.
God had people he didn't.
Is it something you're thinking about doing, or is it just something when you woke up to that morning that those thoughts came over you? Or?
Well, before I had seen Shantae walking, I had decided to go for a drive in my truck, because sometimes I just like to drive around the community and blare loud music. And whenever I was driving and I had seen her, just immediately it was like something else had come over me.
So she just happened to be in the wrong spot? You think it's just you saw her and knew her and thought, this is somebody that'll work for this? Do you know?
It's like I didn't have any thought process at all. My eyes were watching me do what I was doing, but there was no thought behind it. Just one evil. And I asked her if she was going home. She said no. I asked her if she wanted to hang out. She said yes.
The two drove around the neighborhood for a bit before Ryan pulled over in a secluded area.
When y'all were sitting in the truck talking, what are y'all talking about?
Music.
What y'all liked, or what was playing, or what?
Well, I had a sound system in my truck, so I was letting her go through all my music and stuff. And I was talking to her about the music that she liked. And every time she'd play a song, she'd say something like, "Oh, that's my song." Out of nowhere, I just put my left arm around her and began to strangle her. She had passed out.
After the assault, he was worried that Shantae would tell someone what happened if he let her live, so he decided to kill her.
I went to the abandoned house on County Road 424, and I dragged her body out of my truck Then I threw her over that fence and then climbed over the fence and dragged her to that tank battery where I put her. I went back to my truck and got a lawnmower blade out of the back of my truck. And I went back to where she was, and I beat her to death with it to make sure that she was dead.
Do you think she was dead before that?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Why do you not think so?
Because parts of her body were still moving and twitching.
Were her eyes open or closed?
Her eyes were open, but they were open the entire time.
No. Did you use anything else hitting her besides the lawnmower blade?
I remember putting a knife to her throat, even though it wasn't sharp at all. I had stomped on her chest as well.
The odd mark on Shantae's chest finally had an explanation. It was from the bottom of Ryan's shoe. Ryan then told the detectives something brand new. He described the internal battle he was fighting throughout this entire ordeal.
I had seen her just immediately. It's like something else had come over me. It's like this different part of me that it just wants nothing but destruction and evil. It wanted to kill somebody. And whenever I saw her that day, it took over.
What is it? Your destructive side of what you're talking about?
The only thing I can think of what it might be is Satan.
Satan.
Ryan is essentially saying that he was possessed by an evil entity, and that entity killed Shantae. He was just the vessel. But this is complete nonsense. What about the 18 months following Shantae's murder? Why didn't he turn himself into the police when he wasn't possessed? It's more likely that this was a tactic to garner sympathy while offloading any responsibility.
How did you know Shantae?
Well, she was.
Yep, and that's why you're gonna still continue to get got. Because you sitting up here and you literally embracing and showering love over people who are completely made their bed and laid in it and said what side they on. This man is pure fucking evil. Okay, he does not have he really doesn't have no remorse, but he wanted to get sympathy for his community because he didn't want to deal with the backlash in that way, right? He could have came and told them that he did it months ago. He was able to live his best life for 13 months while they still running around here trying to find out what happened to this girl. Nah. Absolutely not. And y'all talking about forgive him. And he just told you he's demonic and he was taken over by a demonic spirit.
Was widely known in that community, so everyone knows everyone out there. Sometimes I feel like that she liked me and she was always trying to flirt. I didn't want anything to do with that.
When you say she would flirt with you, what would she do?
She would just joke and just talk and laugh.
Right.
But I would just block her out as soon as she wasn't there. I think whatever came over me knew that she was an easy target.
You think that's because she was a small girl or because she had the mental problems or both?
Had you ever had those type of thoughts about anybody before?
Not anyone specific, but wanting to do that to a person, yes.
How long have you been having those thoughts before this happened?
I've always had these thoughts. We used to have a Chihuahua.
Ryan went on to describe how he would torment his family dog, but would stop once he realized what he was doing.
Your parents never saw you do it?
No, I always made sure to do it whenever they were away.
If you could say something right now to Shantae, what would you say?
That I'm sorry that I did what I did. And whatever I have coming towards me, I deserve.
The interview was wrapped up and Ryan was charged with capital murder.
Why did it take you a year and a half to confess, Mr. Riggs? Why did it take you 18 months to confess?
Right? You should be Mrs.
In response to these charges, Shantae's mother Michelle and her stepfather Stephen released a video on social media expressing their gratitude.
Hey everyone. I don't know if everybody knows, but we caught him.
We got him tonight for a capital murder trial. God has blessed us with him. And it breaks my heart because this man went to church with her and he's just a kid himself. But I wanted everyone to know that we appreciate everything y'all have done. And
However, Shantae's family ultimately didn't want to pursue the death penalty, as they believed being in prison for the rest of his life would be a harsher punishment. So the state offered Ryan a plea deal, which he accepted.
21-year-old Ryan Riggs is sentenced to life without parole after pleading guilty to capital murder in the killing of Rhonda Shantae Blankenship.
Ryan Riggs is now 28 years old and is serving his sentence at the All Red Unit in Iowa Park, Texas.
That situation was so upsetting and sad. That man was evil. He was vicious. Obviously, he let the detectives know that he is a psychopath and he has always been a psychopath. And he had a bloodthirst when he was younger and he took it out on the family dog. And that bloodthirst called him again because he ran across a disabled woman. The woman was autistic. She can barely write. She can barely speak. She was that type of autistic. She had to be taken care of for the rest of her life. And he seen her as prey. And that's why he preyed on her. And then there was a hidden kind of trying to devalue her that he did everything too, right? Like, what was the whole point of stepping on her chest? You wanted to crack her chest. Why? Why did you want to crack her chest for? You know, like he did a lot of demonic things. They said that that girl was beaten to a pulp. She was beaten to a pulp. Her body was beaten to a pulp. He hanged her upside down. Just think about it. He's a quote unquote church going boy from this community, and he hung her upside down in a haunted house. Hit her in the head with a lawnmower blade. Also sexually violated her. He admitted that he choked her. Like, and y'all talking about forgiveness when he literally told you he was evil. He was evil and he intentionally did that? Man, listen. I mean, it was up to the family to decide. They did not want him to lose his life, and I completely understand about the whole situation with the death penalty, right? And why people are against it. 100%. They decided that life in prison would be far worse because he have to deal with his circumstance or deal with himself the whole entire time. If that's what that family believed, that is justice served, then I am in agreement with them. That is justice served. Prayers to that young woman. You know, that should have had never, ever happened to her. Never happened to her. That was just truly horrible. That really hurt. That's just bad. And the excuses and stuff like that. And you wait 13 years, you have that family and that community running around for 13 years. All right, guys. So I have one more case for you, and then I'm going to let you good folks go ahead and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And then I'm going to take a little break and rest before I head to work. Just make sure you please hitting the like button for me. I truly appreciate it. It definitely does help the channel, keeps me in the algorithm. Also, please share this out to anyone who is interested in these kind of cases where we talk about them, we dissect them amongst each other. If you do have cases that you know of that I'm not aware of, you can always put them in the comment section and I will put them in my little book and I'll put them on the docket for us to review later on after I do some research. So the next case I have is, it seems like a woman wants to go home after shooting her wife. So this must be, it could be a LGBT marriage. So I wanted to take a look at this. This happened in 2019. So let me go ahead and pull this up and just shout out to everyone that's here and rock with me. All right, let me go ahead and pull this up. And let's go.
On September 2nd, 2019, Amanda Butler was arrested and brought in for interrogation after her neighbors called the police, claiming that she was seen chasing her wife and firing a handgun at her. What Amanda doesn't know is that one of the bullets found their target.
It's obviously been a long night, so just kind of in your own words, run me through everything that's happened, how we got to this point.
The whole premise for the day was we got to do hurricane prep, obviously, and I asked her everything that I needed to do, and she,
You say she, who are you referring to?
Christy,
Okay.
she just kept saying, well, I'm sick, and she was blowing it out of proportion a few days ago, and I'm from Mississippi, so I don't know hurricanes, so I was just following up with what her mom said that we needed to do, and she kept rolling over and going back to sleep until about 4 o'clock this afternoon, and then popped up panicking about things that were not done, was doing the best that I could do, and this has been the worst mistake of my life. I mean,
What's that?
this relationship, there's a lot of differences. I mean,
I understand, but talk about how do we get to where police and ambulances got called out tonight? What led up to that? How did we get there?
She said she woke up about 4 p.m.
yeah, I mean, yeah, she lays in bed all day.
So that upsets you? I mean, is that kind of was that kind of the cause of an issue? Or?
I've been in cybersecurity for about 5 years now. Unfortunately, I was laid off about 3 months ago, but I just accepted a new position this morning. But after this, I'm sure I won't get.
Well, why do you say that? That's what we're trying to. That's what we're asking.
I worked 7.
So off the bat, I'm not getting sincere vibes for this woman. It's telling when the first thing that you do in a situation like this, you start bad mouthing the person, right? Or you try to paint a picture of them in such a negative way. If this is your wife, right? There's things, and we understand, people have arguments, stuff like that, things of that sort. But the way how she's coming off, she's making it seem like this marriage has been toxic for a very long time, right? So this is not something new. This is not something new with her. I just don't think that that's just the best route to go, right? Especially if now if you shot your wife, if you're the reason why your wife is hurt, you would not want, if that's someone that you really love, you wouldn't want it to have happened that way, or it to get that bad. And then I was also taking a note of her body positioning in the beginning when she was talking about her wife, and then how she started to talk that she was unemployed for like 3 months because she was in cybersecurity, and I guess they laid her off, and then she just accepted a new contract for whatever company that she's going to work for. So that could have also lead into why they might have been tensions with your wife, especially if she was footing the bill or keeping the household running by herself, or being the only income that was coming in at a certain time. This is the reason why the detective is asking these type of questions, because it's very important. They need to know why it led up to this, what happened prior, what happened during, and what happened after, right? This is how they break it down. And then eventually they'll start asking her harder questions as the interview goes on. But keep in mind, they're both the room, right? Remember, I have told you about interrogation rooms. All interrogation rooms are not the same, right? Some are meant to look cozier, right? Like they're just having a conversation with you. Others look like you're about to go to jail as soon as this conversation is over. And then some is like you might have a possibility to get out here depending on what you say, right? And that is what type of interrogation room she's in. She's in an interrogation room, like, depending on what you say is whether or not you're going to get out this door and go home. Okay. And they're strategically facing her in that way, sitting like that, because they don't think that she's a threat. They don't think that she's going to make a run to the door, even though the door is in her peripheral, but they want to face her face to face because they are also studying her body language and the things that she says. So let's go on.
10 18-hour days in my field. And it's hard for me to have to pay all of the bills and then come home and do everything at the house and take care of the dogs. And
Alright, so did you guys have an argument then when she woke up at 4 p.m.? How were you towards her when she woke up?
We're at the point where we don't speak. I can't say,
Okay.
how was your day?
Has this been an ongoing thing?
Yes, it's been going on for months, and I asked for a divorce in February, and she.
But something happened today between you. Y'all spoke at some point. You had to speak because something happened. Okay,
Yeah,
a lot happened.
We did.
According to the police report, the two were arguing when Amanda grabbed a handgun from the garage and began pointing it at her wife. The victim then ran to the neighbor's home, and as she was running away, Amanda shot at her twice, hitting her once.
Okay, so y'all were having an argument.
Okay, so self-defense is right out the window. I'm sorry, and that's not even funny, but self-defense is completely out the window. You went and got the gun when y'all had this argument. You pointed at her, and she literally ran. She did exactly what she was supposed to do: leave the house, ran over to the neighbors to get help, and you gunned her down. You shot her in her back. You shot twice. So you had every intention to hurt this woman, so it wasn't even like a regular argument. There was something else behind that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really hunted this woman who was supposed to be your wife and shot her. Like, that's insane. So you can't use self-defense, right? And what I would think that they would try, and then now by her own saying, she admitted that her wife never put her hands on her. She just admitted that her wife never put her hands on her. So it wasn't a mutual combat. It was a heated discussion that got to the point where you went and got the weapon, and she tried to make a beeline to the neighbors, and you shot that woman while she was running away from you. Like, girl, I don't know what she thinks she's gonna get out of this. I don't know what else she thinks. And the thing about it is, if the wife would have had lived, she didn't die from her injuries, then this would be attempted first-degree murder. Now that the wife is gone, it's first-degree murder. I don't understand what she thinks she's going to get out of it. There's not going to be no sympathy. They're not going to sympathize with you that y'all been having a toxic or a turmoil type of marriage because of finance and stuff like that. That's normally what happens when divorces, occurs, right? Is the number one thing for divorces is financial stress and infidelity. Those are the two top things that usually people get divorced from. I don't know. Let's go on.
Sadly, this whole relationship's been an argument.
Okay.
Down to
But that's so
common sense paying bills.
Okay, so you wanted to get ready for the hurricane. You didn't feel like she was taking it serious, right? She slept all day. She didn't wake up around 4 p.m.
No, she slept the last 3 days, and then at 4 she says, get up, go do this, make it happen, get it all done, and right now. And then I get up and I filled, tubs of water to be able to flush toilets, etc. And got all the water bottles ready, and the bunny and the dogs.
But how do we get to the point though where you're all cut up and she's shot?
Yeah, I worked my tail off.
So you were getting things ready.
Why I look like this. Not all of this is her. Some of this is moving stuff around and dragging girls across the yard. And
So what the altercation with her, about what time do you think that started? The actual physical part of it.
I mean, the heavy argument really started with, I don't know, probably 7:30 when she started grilling in on, you're a deadbeat, you're blah, 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 and I've been the one making 150 plus K a year and paying all of the bills. And
All right, we know y'all had an argument. What happened? When did the argument escalate? Like, it escalated at some point. All right, obviously. You can look at you, and you can look at her, and it's obvious that it got way beyond an argument. So that's what we're trying to get you to talk about. What happened? How'd that happen? And what happened?
She got in my face when I was trying to unload the dishwasher, and then she went into the bedroom, and I just said, you know, if you're gonna argue all night, then go into the other bedroom. And I mean, we had all of our, I'm sure you saw, our lighters and knives and candles and everything, like, categorized on the counter. And she said, no, we're not doing this, we're not gonna keep talking. And I said, you've been saying that for 1.5 years, and I've been trying to get out of this for 1.5 years.
It appears that Amanda just wants to talk about her toxic relationship with her wife with anyone who will listen, but the detectives want to move on to the shooting itself. Amanda fired 2 shots. One hit her wife, and the other one went through the front door of a neighbor's home, through the living room, and exited out the window at the back of the home.
So after the alteration started, I said 3 times very clearly through my door, I am in fear for my life. I am in fear for my life. I am in fear for my life.
And you said that to Christine?
Yes.
Through which door? The front door, your bedroom door? What door?
The bedroom door.
Okay. Why were you saying that to her? Why were you in fear of your life? What was she doing?
Because she screams like a banshee and won't sit down and just speak on a civil basis.
Okay.
And
so then what happened?
Well, she had already shoved me a couple of times in the kitchen, and that's when I said, all right, separate bedrooms, period, for the night. We've got to just ride the storm out. And I shouldn't have touched her, but she did a doozy on me.
Okay. When did you pull a gun out tonight?
Girl, what? So you said that she was screaming at the top of her lungs. Was she making any threatening, words to you? It's like, see, this is the problem, right? And this is why I say that people should just get a lawyer and, and work out your story with the lawyer, because it doesn't make any sense. You went into this room. She went, and I guess she followed you towards the room. You locked the door. She couldn't get in. She's banging. She's telling you, let's talk, answer me, blah, blah, blah. I get it, right? You had already went and got the weapon, but even when you're explaining the situation, you didn't really make it seem like this went to another level where you had to go get the weapon. You're speaking as this is something that y'all was always going through. You're talking as y'all was always having these type of arguments. Y'all was always lashing out on each other. Obviously, y'all saying that you're also saying that y'all was hitting each other at one point or some point. But once you locked yourself in the room and she wasn't breaking down the door, she didn't break down the door, or I haven't heard her say that she her wife broke down the door. You said that you told her, get away from the door. I fear for my life. I fear for my life. Did you tell her that you had the weapon? And then on top of that, even with all that, that still does not explain why your wife had to run outside the house to get away from you, and you gunned her down outside of the house. That doesn't explain that. Like, you cannot be fearing for your life, and then the next minute you're the aggressor chasing her, and you shoot her while she's trying to make a beeline to the neighbor's house. You could have even shot someone in the neighbor's house, because they said the second bullet went through the front door. You could have shot anybody in the house that she was trying to go get help from. So again, it does not explain why you became the aggressor at that point. If you're saying that you took all these steps to say, leave me alone, this is done, this is over, I'm fearing for my life, you're getting too aggressive, and not once did you say that you called 911 either. But you definitely went to go get that gun, right? It's just, I don't understand. Like, someone screaming and screaming from the top of their ears, whatever not, and you saying that she have done this before, does not give you the right to say, I'm going to shoot you now because you're screaming your lungs out. She's not even, like, you have not even said that she threatened you. She didn't say, I was going to kill you. You didn't say that she had a knife in her hand. You didn't say that she was trying to break into the door or use a butter knife to get into the door. You didn't say any of those things. You just said that she was screaming from the top of the ear telling you to get out or come out and talk to me. And then you was fearful for your life. You was behind the door, so you had created distance. And then it got to the point where the door opened and you chased her and shot her in the back. And this is what the detectives is trying to get you to explain. Why did you take those extra steps? And you're making it, you're doing your best to try to not talk about that. And this is why you're painting a very good picture about how toxic your marriage was. And you're really trying to not talk about why did you do that? What point did something happen or did she do to make you have to chase her outside and shoot her in her back? But let's go on.
Did you hold a gun? Did you use a gun at all tonight?
I pulled a gun and told her to get the hell out of my house.
Okay. At what point did you do that in the argument? Before or after she went to separate bedrooms?
I mean, after she kind of went nuts here.
Okay. Which gun did you pull?
The Glock.
Okay. Black Glock? Okay. Did you ever point it at her? Did you just show it to her? I mean, what happened with the gun?
I had it in the small of my bag.
Okay.
Because she was still going on and on and on about filling garbage cans of water and not helping with anything, and started
so
slicing and dicing, and I mean, I went to a different bedroom, and then she just kept pounding and coming in, and she's not the type of person that you can just civilly talk to. I mean, she's either level-headed or through the roof.
So did you shoot her? Did you feel like you needed to shoot her out of self-defense? I mean,
I think she would have killed me.
Okay, but what I'm getting at is, that's fine. I'm trying to figure out, she got shot. How did she get shot? I mean, I think you mentioned to somebody on scene, patrol officer, somebody, that you shot her out of self-defense. Was that correct, or did you never say that? I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
This Sunday. How are you?
I don't. Again, I mean, that's a big adrenaline rush.
I understand. But she got shot with a bullet. I mean, a bullet shot her. I'm trying to figure out if it was just the two of you at the home, right? There was no one else?
It was just us.
Okay, so...
And I had to save my life.
Okay. So did you shoot her? Did you shoot Christy?
If she was hit, then that was bad aim on my part. I would never have hit anyone intentionally. It would have been a warning shot.
Okay, so you saying...
Oh, she just annoyed me right then and there. So they gave you the opportunity to say whether or not you wanted to use the self-defense claim, but you have to admit that you shot her. You wouldn't even admit that you shot her. You said, if I did, she got, she put herself in the way because I was just giving out warning shots. You are not giving out warning shots if she's running to the neighbor's house. She's no longer a threat. You left out the house to shoot her. She's completely lying. And on top of that, body language, she has her arms crossed. Every single time she says something that is not true, she touches her nose. You know what I'm saying? She's showing so much signs that she's not being forthcoming. And a lot of what she's saying doesn't make sense. So now you don't know whether or not you shot her. Now you don't know that you actually pointed the gun, directly at her. You said that you was doing warning shots. If you was doing warning shots, then the 2 shots that you fired would actually be, I don't know, in the house, maybe on the roof or something like that, or close to the roof. No, one is in her and the other one went through the neighbor's house, meaning you shot outside, meaning that you was directly pointing the gun in her direction. Like, I don't know what the hell she thinks that she's trying to pull. Like, and I don't care. Saying it as slow as possible is not going to make you look any better. But the reason why she's talking slow like that and is because she has to get her thoughts straight in her head before she says something, right? So she takes her time. She tries to navigate what is being asked of her or what she's going to tell before she actually speaks. You'll see it. That's why she's using her changing the way how she her tempo of how she speaks. But yes, Michelle, she's definitely lying. She's completely lying. She is completely lying, no doubt about it. And they see it too. Because a lot of it doesn't make sense. Like, she knows that she shot her. So why is she saying you didn't mean to hit her? If you didn't mean to hit her, then you shouldn't even have pointed a gun at her, right? And even after everything that you were saying, you didn't say that she came at you in a threatening manner. You didn't say that she even had a weapon or anything. You said that she was just screaming to the rooftop, telling you that you are a dirtbag, you're a bandit, you're lazy, you don't want to help me around the house. That's all you said that she did. So if she's this horrible person that you had to threaten your life, I'm expecting to hear a little bit more that gave you the reason to fear for your life. I'm not saying say that you wasn't in any danger. Of course you were in danger. Having an argument with anyone can lead into a serious situation, right? So there's always danger there. But the way how she is explaining the level of why the gun was even brung out does not make any sense. Outside of you getting angry and you wanted to shoot her, but let's go on.
And you shot at her, but you didn't mean to hit her. I'm trying to understand, okay? It's not a trick question. I'm trying to understand what
never would intentionally hit anyone.
Amanda, listen to me. I wasn't there, okay? So the questions I'm asking you is because I want to understand what happened. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened unless I ask you, okay? I've talked to Christy, so that's why I'm talking to you now.
I opened the front door, and that's why I told you guys when you were out looking for my drop, because it wasn't a revolver. So
okay, if she was, why would you open the front door to shoot the warning shot?
The detective tells her that a bullet struck her wife, but Amanda completely ignores this information. Later on in this interview, she will ask if her wife has been hit, and when the detective tells her she was, Amanda appears shocked, claiming she had no idea.
I took physically what I could, but I made a vow to protect and honor and...
Amanda, listen to me, okay? You're not being honest with me. Okay, I think there might be some truth in what you're saying, but you're trying to You're trying to give me a different version of the story than I already know happened, okay, Amanda? You got to be straight with me, okay? You're a smart person. I can tell that. I saw the degrees in your house. I saw your MBA, and I saw your other master's degree. You're smart, okay? So you know that what you're saying doesn't add up.
I don't have anything to hide.
Well, I understand that, but you said you opened the front door to fire a warning shot, okay? There was a casing in your driveway, not outside the front door, okay? And then there's another casing. Explain to me how a bullet hole got in your neighbor's front door.
Because we ended up running across the driveway almost over into the neighbor's yard.
Okay, but if you're running outside the house, then you could have run away from her. So did you shoot at her outside? I mean, how are you shooting into the neighbor's house if you're running down the street, like they're running away? You would have had to shoot at her while she's running towards the neighbor's door. I mean, the bullet went all the way through their front door.
Thank you. But she's trying to make herself seem like some damn victim. You are not a victim. You meant to shoot that girl. You just told on yourself. If y'all, what would you talk about? We running. What do you mean we running? If you was in danger, you would have stayed your ass in the house if she's running outside of the house. Or if you both wanted to leave the house, she ran to go get the neighbor, you run to go down to another neighbor or go down to go get help. Why are you running after her? If she's so dangerous and you had to get the weapon because she's so dangerous and you couldn't take it anymore. You couldn't take it anymore. You don't run after someone that you're afraid of. I have not seen anything like that happen before. There's two things people do when they're scared or they're in a situation. They either fight or they flight, right? So they either leave, they run, or they fight. But even in this situation, like, you was in this other bedroom, she couldn't get in. You left the bedroom. Somehow y'all got downstairs. You open up the door. Somehow you running with her while she's running away and you're shooting in the process. Girl, like, and I'm glad that they called it out because she's trying to act like she's oblivious to everything. And it's like she's trying to use the self-defense claim and also fit of rage. And we have been covering a lot of cases lately about people using that self-defense claim and the fit of rage type of situation, right? Or insanity or whatever not. And I keep on trying to say, like, the way that y'all talking about the fit of rage, I get it. But if one moment you're in a fit of rage and in the next moment, now all your logic and reasoning comes back when you need to protect yourself, it's not going to fly when it comes down to the courts, because that's just not how it works, especially with a psychotic break, right? If you're in a psychotic break, it doesn't just switch off and switch on instantaneously, okay? So that's not going to fly. And then this is not self-defense whatsoever. You deliberately chased this woman and you shot her while she was running away trying to get help. And this is your quote-unquote wife that you said that you vowed to love and protect and serve. But how are you protecting her if she's the one that she has to run away from you because you pulling guns out on her? Let's go on.
Did you ever shoot at her? I mean, was she shooting at you? You got to help me understand what happened. I'm asking these questions because I don't know.
So, out of the front door, she's still yelling and screaming and doing her number. And here's my driveway. So, I mean, you've got about 6 feet. And then there's maybe a 12-foot gap of grass
between the two houses?
Yeah, between the two houses. And she's still in attack mode. And
the detectives need to figure out if what Amanda did falls under self-defense. Based on the crime scene and witness testimony, Amanda's wife was running away from her, and she was in the neighbor's backyard when she was hit.
Well, Amanda, here's what I'm asking you, okay? Your house is over here, like you just said. And you said there's about 12 foot of grass. I don't know, but that's what you said, between your house and your neighbor's house, okay? You said Christy's over here at your neighbor's house. You're over here at your house. Why did you shoot at her if she's all the way over there? Why did you shoot at her? And how did a bullet get through the neighbor's front door?
Through the front door? Honestly, I have no damn clue.
Okay. Did you shoot a gun at Christy?
Yes.
Okay. How many times did you shoot the gun?
I fired a warning shot.
Okay.
And I fired a second shot.
When you say you fired a warning shot, what does that mean? Like you fired up into the air? You fired out down at her feet? Like what do you mean?
No, like up in the air.
Okay.
Like
where was that
just
when you shot that
go
one? Where
away.
were you?
I mean, that was the casing that you guys should have found.
In the
It
driveway?
should have been the left of the driveway.
Was that the first one that you fired?
Yes.
Okay, so if you fired a warning shot, like go away in your driveway, and then she did go away, she's over here, so then why did you shoot at her again? It's the second shot. Why did you shoot again, the second shot?
Because she never goes away, sir.
Well, you just said she was standing over here at the neighbor's house, though.
Yeah, she was standing over there at the neighbor's house, but she doesn't back down until you hunker down into a hole and all wrong.
Amanda, why did she run to several neighbors' houses asking for help?
Because I'm hoping she understood after the second shot that I was serious.
You shot the gun at her to make her know that you were serious? To let her know that you were serious?
Yes.
Okay.
Amanda finally admits to shooting her wife, and it wasn't in self-defense. This means she can now be charged with attempted murder and aggravated assault. The next thing the detectives want to know is how Amanda got the wounds on her body. She claims they are from her wife, but the detectives know that is a lie, and the wounds are just Amanda's way of trying to show that she was attacked.
You're smart, okay? I'm pretty smart too. I like to think I am anyway. And we both know when there's a lie being told. You're telling me a lie right now. Some of the stuff you're telling is a lie, okay? Be honest with me, okay? So all those cuts came from Christy.
No, all of these cuts did not come from Christy.
Okay, but some of them came from Christy is what you're
Hey,
saying.
Wilfredo, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to
Some
see
of
you.
them.
Hope everything's well with you.
The bruising, I didn't do that. No, I mean, no.
Okay. But
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. She is really getting on my nerves because I just don't like the act that she's putting on, right? She's making herself seem like she's not that bright. The girl got an MBA. She got 2 MBAs, okay? She knows what's going on. You know, she's playing dumb. And she's playing like she doesn't know that she did this, she doesn't know that she did that. She's trying to say that that her wife was still in attack mode. How the hell is she still in attack mode when she's running away? And I'm only thinking that she only went to one neighbor's house. Apparently, she went to numerous neighbors' house asking for help. So you was literally hunting this woman down. You was hunting her down. And honestly, I think everything that she's saying about her wife is literally projection, and she's talking about herself. I'm under the impression that all the things that she was saying that her wife was doing, she was the one who was doing that. I truly believe it now more than ever. She was talking about herself. The lying, the screaming, the hollering, and all that. That was her. That was her. She's talking about herself and she's blaming that her wife is doing that. Like, I see it now because this whole I'm playing dumb and I don't understand and I don't know what 2 feet is. I don't know what 3 feet is. I don't know. Oh, she's in attack mode, but she's in somebody else's yard and not your yard. You know, like, girl, I can't. I really can't. She's getting on my nerves.
you didn't shoot Christy when you were in the house and she was cutting you. You waited till she got outside down at a neighbor's house to shoot her. Can you explain why? Is she still a threat to you if you're at your house and she's down at the neighbor's house running away from you? Is she a threat to you then?
I wouldn't say she was running away.
Well, if she's here and you're here, why shoot at her?
My dogs.
What do your dogs have anything to do with it?
Because I don't want to kill one of my animals if I do some kind of shot to the ground or to the ceiling. I mean, they're freaking out. They're two little Yorkies. And
well, what about the shot through the neighbor's front door? You know your neighbor had 2 young kids in the house sleeping when that shot went through their front door.
No, I did not know.
Well, they did. Did you shoot at Christy while she was in front of their house?
With the adrenaline, it's possible, yes.
Okay. Did you ever threaten to kill Christy tonight? Did you ever tell her you were going to kill her tonight?
No.
Okay, well, I'm asking the questions because I...
You see how she lying? She lying. Why a pause? Like, did you threaten you was gonna kill her tonight? No, absolutely not. Girl, please. Yes, you did. You did. You said that you was going to hurt her. You said you was going to shoot her. You was probably like, BITCH, I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to shoot you. Oh, you think you're going to get away with me? You think this is over? You think that you're safe at that neighbor yard and banging on the door? I got something for you. I can see that. I can see her doing that. Like, this lady, come on now. Like, please stop. Stop with the charades. I mean, even the detective is getting tired of her lying and this whole type of performance that she's putting on. Like, he's getting tired himself. And you could definitely tell. Like, it's insane. It's insane. I just don't understand it. She said, what the heck? Where did that come from? Girl, I don't know. I really don't. Huh? Yeah, Kenan. Yeah, exactly. Right. Hey, JD, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Like, I'm tired of this girl. I really am. I'm really tired. No, I'm not gonna. I didn't say that. Absolutely not. Okay. Sure you did. You were just quiet the whole time, and you just like, okay. Let me get my weapon. Let's go on.
I don't know.
That's the 10 Commandments, and sorry, I don't want to like throw religion around, but I do try to follow those.
All right, Amanda, here's the part I'm struggling with, okay? Help me.
I think the wife did.
You're a smart person.
Absolutely.
You're educated, okay? Help me understand why you shot at her when you said you're in your house, there's 12 foot of grass, she's at the neighbor's house. You didn't see her holding a gun. She hadn't threatened you with a gun. You said she did that in the house, but now she's outside the house at least 12 feet away. By your own words, okay? Maybe more. Maybe a little less, but you said there's about 12 feet in between the houses, and you shot at her.
Amanda claims she doesn't know if any of the bullets hit her wife, despite the detective making it very clear that her wife had been struck. So the detective is about to let her know that her wife had been hit.
Where were you when you shot Christy?
When she hit.
Well, we wouldn't be here, would we? We might not be going through all this if she hadn't been. I don't know. You tell me. You shot at her. You don't know if you hit her or not?
If I wanted to hit her, she would be in ICU. She's been threatening me.
Bitch, what? If I wanted to hit her, she's in ICU. I'm gonna do you one better, hoe. She's dead. She's dead. Your wife is dead. What the fuck you talking about? Like, I can't believe she even said that. I'm sorry. Sorry, Joanne. I love you. I know I'm cussing. I'm gonna stop. But come on now. Like, I can't believe she even said that. Did she think that was a good look to say that? If I really wanted to do something, she would be gone. How? She's dead. She's dead. Yeah, you did more. You did more than that than put her in ICU. You put her 6 feet under the ground, you dumbass. Jesus Christ. Like, shut up. Like, sometimes just shut up. Cállate.
Physically, emotionally, financially for months.
Well, why stay?
I filed papers in February. She won't sign them. I mean, you can log into my email right now.
Who's better off financially? Who has the better job and makes more money?
Me.
Okay. So,
I mean,
so why not go?
I've been trying.
Can we agree? Do you agree with me if I say that is not self-defense? Do you agree with that statement? Do you think it's self-defense, what you just said? You had a gun, she didn't have a gun, you're standing in your driveway, she's over here at the neighbor's trying to get help, and you shot her. Is that self-defense?
Where was she hit?
She's fine. She's gonna survive. It's not life-threatening injury.
Well,
but you did hit her. You hit her.
Where was she hit?
She had a graze to the hip. Why did you shoot her?
Oh, I'm glad this lady is not. I'm glad her wife is not gone, so she can tell her tale. But this woman is getting on my nerve. Flower says she is getting under my skin. She is so annoying, yo. Like, this is not the time to be flexing about if I wanted to, if I wanted her gone, she would be gone. Like, what? What are you doing? Who raised you? Why are you flexing? That's not a flex right now, okay? You're literally about to get attempted first degree murder. I would say attempted first degree murder. That's what you're facing right now, because you had just admitted to them that you shot your wife, right? Even though it took them a long time to get that out of you, right? You have not yet explained to them why did you chase her and why did you shoot her outside, and she was already on the neighbor's property and no longer on your property. You have no excuse for that. So, like, I don't understand why she thinks that this is a flex. Like, and then now she's asking, well, where did I hit her at? Does it matter? You shouldn't be shooting at her anyway. Like, you think that makes it any better? Well, I should get half off because, I only hit her hip. Or I only grazed her arm. It was just a little flesh wound. I just pierced her in her arm. It's a little flesh wound. I should get off. Like, what kind of, I don't understand. Like, who raised you, bro? I don't understand. Let's go.
Because she was still threatening and ranting and raving and not taking anything that I say or do seriously.
So you felt threatened even though you had a gun, you already fired a shot, and she's down here. She had to leave her own house where she lives too to get away from you, and you still felt threatened by her? You felt like you needed to shoot her?
That's not her house. It's in my name.
Y'all live there together. Legally, y'all live there together. That's where she lives.
You're married, correct?
Unfortunately, yes. Because she's still ranting and raving and starts.
But do you think you're justified to shoot me if I'm standing across the street ranting and raving and yelling and screaming at you? And I don't have anything in my hands. I'm not holding a gun, nothing. Do you?
You know what? She honestly do believe that. I know why the detectives is asking her that, right? She honestly believes that she has the right to shoot her because she's raising her voice. Put a 1 in the chat. Have you heard things like that before? That I have the right to do A, B, C, and D to you because you are not conforming to what I want you to do. Put a 1 in your chat if y'all have heard those type of feelings and in statements before. I have heard it numerous of times. How do you think that you got the okay to shoot at your wife because she's complaining and screaming at you to clean up the house? Like, and then you said that you're the one who make the most money. Okay, so if you was the quote unquote breadwinner, you had you had all the means to leave. But the problem what she's leaving out is she wasn't the breadwinner at the time when this situation happened. She was the initial breadwinner. The house is in her name. Great, whatever not, right? But you have been laid off for almost 3 to 4 months. Reason why there's been tension in the house, because now your wife, who you just admit doesn't make enough money, don't make more money than you, is footing all the bill. And then you won't even help her with the household duties. So you're home sitting around being a lazy little bumpkin while she's out there working her ass off, and you wonder why she's screaming at you. And you think it's okay because, well, before I got laid off, I was making all the money there. But yeah, you was, I'm sure that, I hope you was helping her clean then too, right? Or maybe she allowed you to not clean as much as her because you was making a little bit more money to her and bringing it to the household. So when do you understand that it still has to balance out? In marriages and relationships, listen, that's the whole point. Sometimes y'all both gonna be up. Sometimes somebody's gonna be a little up than the other person, and y'all supposed to help each other, right? And y'all supposed to be doing that back and forth, back and forth. That's how the game goes. Y'all gonna be juggling like that throughout your whole relationship in your marriage. Y'all not all gonna be on top at the same time. But that's what your loved one and your support system is, so y'all can level out and be balanced and get through it with each other. But if you're not going to help and you get into a slump, and then now you think that you still have the right to do the same thing that you was doing before when you were making money, and then she's supposed to continue doing what she's doing, and then she's actually doing more because now more of her income, or if anything, all of her income is now going to a household that she can't hold by herself with that income. And you don't even want to help the lady with the household chores. Girl, stop. I can't. I really can't. Like, stop. Let's go on.
You call that, in your mind, is that self-defense? Is it self-defense to you?
I don't understand how this process works. I don't understand if I'm supposed to
We're just trying to get the
talk
truth.
to you, or
We're trying to get the truth.
Amanda, we're asking for the truth about what happened tonight. Because you're thinking too hard. You're trying to think about it. You're not just saying what happened. You're thinking about everything before you say it.
Nightmare.
Of course it is. We understand that.
The detective is about to let Amanda know what charges she will be facing. It becomes clear very quickly that Amanda thought she was going home.
So you're going to be charged tonight. Okay. So that's your wife. So you guys in a domestic partnership. So it's aggravated battery. It's a domestic. I mean,
Hey,
it's a domestic aggravated battery.
Indonesia, how are you there?
And then you're gonna have multiple counts of shooting into an occupied dwelling too. There was an entire family in that house that bullet went through the front door of. That bullet went through the front door, skipped off their floor, through a couch, through the back wall. I mean, all the way through the house.
Why?
Exactly, fireworks. She's yelling
Is there
at me.
anything you don't understand about that?
Why can't someone have a few hours to process all of this before you're drug in?
Amanda, this happened.
Oh, baby girl, you're going to have all the few hours that you need to process all this, okay? Behind a jail cell, okay? That's all you need. You're going to have all the time in the world to process your feelings, your emotions, and your BS, okay? Right behind that jail cell. That's what you need to do. That's what you're going to do, okay? We asking stupid questions like that. What do you think they were supposed to do? They supposed to allow you to go home and sleep? Wait, hold on. I'm not accepting this, that I'm being charged. Can I go home for a couple hours, and sleep and then process everything? And if you really thought that you needed a lawyer, you should have had a lawyer in the beginning. Not you getting told now about the charge and like, I shouldn't have gotten a lawyer. Girl, please stop. Let's go on.
At 11 o'clock or something like that, roughly. It's almost 6 o'clock in the morning.
And I watched my in-laws that want alimony go through my house that I wasn't allowed to go back into, taking...
Amanda, what do you need time to think about it for? You know what happened. You were there. All you got to do is answer the questions. There's nothing to think about a process. All I'm asking you is what happened. You were there, so you know.
I've been up for 48 hours doing storm stuff, and...
Well, Amanda, you made some bad decisions tonight, okay?
Not her saying I was up for 48 hours doing storm stuff. Like, you don't even care that your wife is not home, that you had an incident, that you shot at your wife, and that she could actually be injured. You at home doing storm stuff. You acting like it's a regular day that you just, you shooting your wife was just like you pouring a cup of coffee. She doesn't even think that don't seem like, weird or strange at all. Like, I don't understand this lady. I really don't. Thank God this is almost over. She's killing me. She's killing me.
You shot at someone who was unarmed, fleeing from you, and you're trying to claim self-defense. It's not going to hold up. I'm just letting you know it's not self-defense.
No, this is getting out of hand. I do want an attorney.
Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, if I can be honest and real with you guys.
Okay, well, I've explained to you what your main charge was, right?
You want an attorney, you don't have to say anything else.
Yep. But I've explained to you your charges, okay? You will be arrested tonight. And you'll go to court in the morning, okay? You'll have a first appearance.
So, how does this work?
You're going to be placed under arrest, okay? You're going to probably have to go to Shands Hospital for your injuries. So you'll probably be absentee booked at the jail, or the officer will book you into the jail and then take you to Shands, okay?
I can't go home with my dogs in the hurricane.
No, man. Okay, you're under arrest, Amanda, okay? He's going to put you back in the handcuffs, though, okay? So you stand up. Stand up, face the wall. Don't take it out on him. He's
No, I'm not. I'm just asking, can I have 5 more minutes with you?
Amanda, you've already asked for your attorney, okay? So we can't talk anymore about it.
If I retract that?
No.
I'm not understanding. Woman, you just asked for an attorney. They literally told you that you are getting charged. They actually showed you what you're getting charged for. I don't understand why she thinks that she has any other options after that. After they tell you what you're being charged for and you say, well, I don't want to talk to you, I want to have an attorney. Okay, cool. That means that's the end of the conversation. And here you are trying to be manipulative and say, wait, if I retract that, can I have 5 more minutes with you? I thought you was done talking to them. Didn't you just say that you were done talking to them? You said, I'm being honest with you guys. I think I need to get my attorney. Okay, bet. You don't have space to say nothing to us. We already got what we wanted. You finally admitted that you shot at your wife. You finally admitted that your wife was no longer a threat or a danger to you. You actively went out and pursued her. You put somebody else's life and their family in danger, your neighbors, right? Case closed. It's a done deal. And then they also got confirmation from your wife, who's still alive, thank God, that you shot her and everything that happened. They don't need to speak to you anymore. And you sit up here thinking that you're going to manipulate things, and then you more concerned about your dogs. Like, this is what I'm saying. She's saying all this crazy stuff about, I married her and I'm supposed to love and protect and honor and all the stuff like that. You show more concern about your damn dogs than your own wife. You really try to make an excuse that it was okay for you to pull out your gun and try to actively kill your wife due to the fact that you was tired of her nagging at you for being a lazy ass hoe. Let's go on.
We're finished, okay? You'll have to talk to your attorney now.
I don't have an attorney.
Well, you'll get one. The state will appoint one for you. Okay. All right, stand up, face the wall. Put your hands behind your back.
Sir, please.
We're going one way or the other, so.
I know.
Follow his directions, okay? You'll be okay.
Just.
Listen, just follow directions from here on out, and you'll be okay. Okay.
I understand what you want. I can follow you from the bedroom to the kitchen to.
Amanda, stand up for me, okay? He needs to put the handcuffs on you. This wall.
I haven't told my story.
Well, that's what we were giving you a chance to do, okay?
Not her, I haven't told my story. You've been talking this whole entire time. You told your story. In fact, you focused on what you wanted to talk about this story, right? You wanted to paint this woman as a horrible woman and that you should have never had married her and everything. You got everything off your chest. They had to dig deeper and literally force you to admit that you shot her and that you shot her in. You was actually pointing a gun at her in that direction. They had to make you admit these particular things. Now she's talking about I ain't tell my story. Girl, please stop. Like, oh my God. Like, this is just terrible. Just so terrible. And she's like, no, please, wait, hold on. Let me tell you something more. There's nothing else that you need to say. If anything, now you should just be quiet and actually really go get your lawyer and see if they can, try to knock something down, see if your estranged wife wants to press charges on you or, whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's what you need to be doing. But outside of you not being able to go home to be with your dogs in the hurricanes, that's not happening. You don't have that option anymore, lady. You don't have to get over it. And she acts like she's not used to being told no to. That's what I'm getting, I'm picking up from her. She's not used to being told no. She has always gotten her way or have always manipulated the situation that things work out the way that she plans for it to work out. And she's having a hard time with this. She's getting a real serious reality check right now.
Sir, please.
Amanda, the interview's over, okay? You asked for your attorney. I'm respecting that right.
Well, because I'm being put in handcuffs in a hurricane.
Yes, I've already explained that to you. You're being charged with a crime, okay?
Hey, Alex,
how you
doing? Shout out to Italy.
Okay.
I truly appreciate you, sir.
Amanda tried to make it appear as if she was attacked so she could claim self-defense, but in the end, she would be charged with first-degree attempted murder, shooting deadly missiles, and domestic aggravated assault. She was sentenced to 30 years in prison. What are your thoughts on this case? Please share them in the comments below.
So that one was a crazy one. She did all that lying and everything. Serves her right. She had every intention that she tried to unalive her wife. And she thought it was okay to try to unalive her wife because her wife was nagging her for being a deadbeat spouse. Your wife is sitting up there struggling, trying to take care of a home that she doesn't make the amount of money that you used to make to afford all the household. Instead of getting your ass up and getting a part-time job or anything like that, or if you're not, even if you're not going to do that and you're going to take time and wait and see if you get another job offering that makes the same amount of money, you wouldn't even help her with the household. Y'all was sitting up there talking about she was arguing with you to pour water down in the toilet. Like, listen, this is what I don't understand. If you are making over 6 figures, what's going on with your toilet that you have to pour water down in your toilet? Like, that means you don't have no money for plumbing. So you're not even, you're not even taking care of things like that. You would talk about putting water in buckets and stuff like that. Like, the way that they were talking, and you're supposed to be a computer engineer with 2 different MBAs and you make over 6 figures and stuff. there was a lot of stuff that was going on that didn't read well. It read well. It read differently. Like, you know, like y'all was having some financial problems, and that is true. But I think that y'all was having financial problems more than the couple of months that you told the detectives. I think that you possibly could have been unemployed or laid off almost a whole year, right? That's what I think, because there was just too much stuff going on in her story. I really can't I can't fathom that you do something like that to your loved one. And then she was getting on my nerve. All that play acting, all that acting like she's oblivious to what's going on, and all that slow talking and manipulation. I'm sorry, Flower. I'm sorry. I was getting aggravated. You right. My blood pressure didn't go up. My blood pressure is very well. Thank you very much. I run every single day. So, but yeah, she was just getting me aggravated. She was definitely getting me aggravated. But I'm glad that we was able to end today's live stream on something that was more happy. This person didn't lose their life. Thank God. Justice was served for the cuckoo lady. So thank God for that. And also, this one was a little bit more entertaining, where I could be a little bit more, animate with it, because they was just really doing some stupid, goofy shit. She was just really saying some stupid stuff that didn't make sense. And it was just very annoying to see. But I'm glad that some of y'all had a laugh at it. I appreciate all of you guys. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Please make sure you hit the like button while you're exiting out. I will be back Tuesday. I'm gonna come back Tuesday because I'll be off that day, so I can probably start really early. And I'll probably, yeah, so Tuesday and Wednesday, because I'm going away again once again. So I'll be going away again. So I'll be MIA for a couple of days. So I want to definitely make sure I crank out at least 2 live streams before I go away. You know, this is the job. It is what I do. I love my job. So I appreciate you guys. I'll see you soon. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe. Show love is the Brooklyn way. All that good stuff. And I will talk to you later. Goodbye, everyone.